and worship you. Oh, be lifted.
Oh, yes.
Above all other gods.
Ya involve ye nyame.
We
Ewo bibi e mekoso na day. Se erade e wan kasa maunsa so. Na de sefata on my Ghana no. Manendai ni wedi nei. Ene day. Ene benai. Onyame ni monyamfo e. Ye twitwagefo e. Ye ntamgirafo e. Kasama ye mai. Oponiye for the susuye. Ne susue bia no. Mema ni mramu ewo Yesu ni mo. Emani memu Yesu ni mo. Baby a wo person man yi kono. But aya wo ma oman yi. Ene ye nyina de akoma kro. Ye nyina de akoma bubuo. E ba wanim. Se Awurade e wan kasa maunsa so. Wan kasa diu ya nimu kan. Na de tere de sefata oman yi. Mani sinedei. De ba ma ye gidie. Emu apaja. De ba ma ye wure se omu no. Ehihim. Menu sinedei.
And worship you, Lord.
And just one yes, and cancer na yes, atetina yes. For mesh watch already. Yatia mamunazo say, Yatin Kwasumu. Said ya we yama Israel for no. Another woman sufra. Woman sufra. Ya jabi bia to her. Abeda wanim. Ya sufra. Say one kasa brati bi animo. And Sakaya Nasa won't say, why you be paying? Yanim sa Wukuswa Woya, Yanim so Bassas Wayas. Midiana Kwame Minkah, and a baby I enjoy again. I'm not so big of fear. Sabra Yankasa security a tight. Oh, my tight security. Our gun, I'm not so big of fear. Said by your speaker, no, and yet you my four. I want my so big of fear, no. Woman, your bambos don't call. Oh, Bambon tea, and nobody should say Yabato Aquamu. Oh, Bambon tea, and no more tight security. Our brother so big of fear. But I'm a say anyone, no more who ya kwaso sabre. Ya saso nyanentia se dom kuma na wo mrase bedwafie no. Ana no no ya dom kase no. Omudi mirika kwotena dom kase na fa e wo mrase bedwafie. Eche bia ya ne yense dwani odafo kwasi beachie ebe kasa no akonfirm ana wa kire ne AC ne ekoso e wo mrase bedwafie. Amanfo bebratu eneda yi din se eneda yi showdown. Say showdown be besi. Matisse honorable apanyo makina wo ye minority leader. Ada in this showdown BNC. Na se bibi sa ma de homene so a. Omuso mbe bibi eyade ade no mbe ye. But you didn't hear me. Me say another insadia. Onyame di Israel for twa pokoko no. Na ebra wodu omu twa pokoko no. Waka twa omu say sam misrim for ya mu hu omu yi. Mu hu omu bio no. I have a feeling in my soul, in my spirit, that it's happen today. And we worship that the developments in Parliament will rekindle our faith in our God. Tell our video and phone to baby. Manina haya. That's what's why I answer. So, I better you be ura man about who do anymore. It's your coverage, you know, a fay and a chance here. Can I say, yeah, election powerhouse, power 97.9, and a TV XYZ. And then, in here, and then October say. October 22, double figure, 22. October 22, the 22nd of October, 2024. This day shall go down in history. I shall say free. I statement in a free. Not so big a fear. Over to the statement now to screen so. Young never king Kayabo. As some of the can was say as part of measures put in place to ensure safety and security of the Right Honourable Speaker and MPs as well as staff, honourable members are respectfully to take note of the following. The other kind, all MPs, staff, members of press will be screened thoroughly before entry into the chamber. Answer na wo mrasa badwani, wo ensentwani, wa wo ye adwuma mrasa badwafie. Answer na obawura mrasa badwafie ho no. Yaba bo search. Yaba fefe. Answer ni amo akwanya, amo awura mrasa badwafie ho. The atoso bi edu wo say bodyguards of MPs will not be permitted in the chamber. Omo ya bambofo edema MPs no ya mo kwan e mo ngura chamber ho. Afedi atoso mi answer say vehicles will not be allowed to park around the grand arena. Asa say mraso bedwafie no ena me siesi ekoso wo mu fie ankasa ninti omo de akwa international conference center ho eti ye bia yo kase no baby omo nhia mu ne kwaso no enim ho no aye omo tie park no ye mo akwanya mo park ne and the toss be was say MPs are to be dropped at a designated drop off within the precinct of the Accra International Conference Center. Thomas Sada apa biaye bi e Accra Conference International Conference Center ho. E hona MPs no omo to omo kan mu a ye bekwa akọ drop omo no man nante e de awura chamber ho. Sisi no ma boss e hona mraso bedwafie ehia mu no bekoso no. Ye the MPs no bekwa akosi biaye ya designate biaye ya sada pe. Say one year back, ye do move begina. It was sifting in the camera. No one nantico chamber. It is a son and Shantia, a year day and an year to said Dom Kuma for no enya quenya, Aquatina, a far, a year Dom Cassia for Netanano, a year day no munya quenyano. I think the possibly also the Ghana Police Service will provide directions to designated drop-off zone. It's Ghana Police Service no na betre biaya was a wo mraso bedwani wa we ya dwo mraso bedwafie wo se dwani no ba bia was a car no edu kosi. MPs are requested to wear their parliamentary identification tags. Members of parliament no and the Seradia Abane say omo card na ye o masanso de no. The man there the perverse omo ye mraso bedwafo no omo fancy omo ko and sen twefo so yaka say yes you get the same thing. MPs are requested to wear their parliamentary tags. Access to the chamber will be was it about more makwenya moma ura chamber around time bay 8 o'clock home 8 o'clock and up ya ni ebe more makwenya amoma ura chamber ho. So if that were so nia yetitie that means enfamra kwan mu nia yetitie that means enkan hwehwe no ho because based on the yenim no yabama mraso bedwafo no akwanya amoma kwotena mraso bedwafie ho baby a ye bobo nsem ho baby a ye debate no yabama makwanya amoma kwotena se at exactly 8 a.m. eti die etitie no ye nkofo ya ye ayade etia mra ayade a etia mraso bedwafie na nkasa enhwehweye. That means that we no speaker no our kwenya say obetimi a order marshals no ene bambofo no so mo mpam mo no mo free dem ho wa bere ya bebo no otwe no was for statement ne to so na yankenkanwie afedi atwa to us the public will not be allowed access to the public gallery until further notice. As I'm Rasabedwafie ba tenasia yema yenya Rasabedwafo behwade fo no yema yakwanya me betena ho em ye behwe ne ekoso e wo Rasabedwafie ene hwehwe afoforo ya ba ekire se sa kwanya no ye yefuro kopem se Rasabedwafie no o makoma beto mo yem eti we ni hwehwe afoforo wo mo dia ba Benada omo say a showdown Peter omo say another a showdown ebi mo say ebe ye showdown Ebi musi showdown BNC. Bananu bi obika showdown wasam na said wakano.
Showdown in this country. President Akufo member showdown. Vice President member showdown. So mama chase me agent. I'm not gonna shut them. What the embassy? What the embassy the embassy you have? Yes. Me challenge President Akufo at any time. Showdown in this country. President Akufo member showdown.
Showdown for fraud. Up your mark is showdown BNC. Up your mark in Korea as I say. What is a draft for your trap here? What really is Up on your mark as I say. What troubles and draft for? Nano our yes and draft for Shemo. Yen Yanum join news for you. Yen Yanum Moko Comleble. Woman or do a motu apostle. And your passy. What who say ya? So who say ya? But what can't say some way area Nana Michel say Ghana Journalists Association ebe issue statement Bessie na obi issue statement na Michel mu say Media Foundation for West Africa ebe issue statement Bessie Sabre obi issue statement bia na Michel mu say multimedia group no ebe ba bonte Bessie gina ye e wo said you omo ye twapia said you said you omo to apaso na ye hu omo eso obi anya bibia Bayaya ye pet and central for a friend who dear and want some canon. Yadi abeko swaka. As a journey the nebon and say, Wayana Juma, Nas Wayana Juma, a yet day na walk a manuni, which you trap money say. And she said you see no Messamo, Mamma video no na, Yan Joe was here. Would you tear send you up on your market and the joy for no two a pass one war homo, shall you away?
You people are known for a lot of mischief, and I would encourage you. No, I will say it. I will not pamper. No. So yes, so let me address Joy News. Joy News, your role as a media house is to help our democracy. Joy is becoming notorious. Joy FM is becoming notorious for misinforming and doing mischief. Yesterday they were quick to say that there is now a minority leader and a majority leader. I will not take any of that. I will say it, you can go and bash me, but I will assert my right. It's my bona fide. Your role as a media house is to play your
role as a media house is to report. Your role as a journalist is to gather and disseminate information without fear or favor. Make sure want to be popo money and money and for popo and the patapa and cancer for and so on memuha. What do you mean, sir? I drive for the no moya. Your moya and say, dear CEO, our Rasabe Fie, and nobody want man above by to say, yes, ye. And you see what Rasabe Fie, Rasabe Fie, Chiame, a attain. Say, one more my grain say, about 2 years die anymore. Womo kwa dom party foforo womo kwa se kwantem krono womo akwanya no edampan womo ankasa yomu wedi eti by virtue of that no dom kuma na no wo mrase badwafie no se ni numbers na kosoro eti wa be dom kese ana dom kese no and numbers na ba form by virtue of that no wo be ye dom kuma eti wo apanyo market for the video no to so na me address no wo apanyo market na when you be na wo kasa wo ha when you wo kasa de patapasem e ka de wo pe no wo ye minority leader and sabra ye kasa ya wo mudimdika akotena ba bia e was a majority for tena no you wrong. And you see the fact is simple. Medical dia show statement free mrasebe fiaba statement ne say e bonno watwea ana ye bema mrasebe dwafo akwanya Amo mewura chambers wo. Put the statement on the screen. At 8 a.m. And yabama mrasabedafo. Sa kwenya no. Amo mewura the chamber. At 8 a.m. or 8 hours. GMT. At 8 a.m. And yabama mrasabedafo no. Sa kwenya no. Amo mewura. Eye chamber ho. So sa bre ya mudimirika makwa wura ho no. Mo kwa ya dan. Sa dwemboni ni mutirimu a ayeda na mo ye wei sa mo ye enkofukuo bi a mo mpem bra so die ɛnam sɛ mompɛ mmara so die nti ɔn deɛ moayɛ wotu mirika adwane agya nhyehyɛeɛ a mo nyinaa makɔ bankurom ate aseɛ a ɛyɛ deputy marshal of parliament ɛnsa ne hyɛ aseɛ a bɛda abɔnten ɛmo 8 afe na abɔ sɛ abɔ 6:50 yɛse as of 5 a.m. no makɔtena ɛfa na ɛyɛ designated for majority ɔmo promo saa yɛ dɛn and ɛnyɛ sɛ bi a tumidie no so yɛde mo a ɛfa ndi ɔmo de bɛyɛ biribi o ɛnyɛ sɛ tumidie no yɛde mo a ɔmo de bɛyɛ biribi a ɛde nsakraa sononko bi ɛbɛba yɛ abrabɔ mu for the past 7 to 8 years one kasa baabi a MPP awɔ no hwɛ w'abrabɔ hwɛ mpuntunwuma sɛn na ne tebea siteɛ na ano wɔ western region ɛkwan bi interchange bi ɔmo yɛ interchange bi ɔmo yɛ fandi interchange bi ɔmo yɛ yɛsɛ ɛnam sɛ aban no ɛni sika bi ade ma China ni contractor ni nti ɛsɛ China contractor no wɔtutu ne nneɛma ɛnneɛma na wɔtutu ne ma de korɔ ayɔ rɔsa yɛde ahyehyɛ ayi interchange no ɛni yɛtutuo wɔsɔ ɔde na adeɛ kɔ ba Ghanafoɔ na ɔmo yɛ labourers na ɔmo ne nsɛntwɛni ni di nkɔmɔ no ɔbɛdan na di sɛ China aban ne deɛ wɔtwa ɛka o but deɛ aba amana basa ne sɛ Ghana aban ne obligation na sodie na sɛdeɛ wɔso wɔyɛ no wɔnyɛ ɛno ti da China ni contractor no n'ani abere a wɔsesa na ɔma nakɔ eti di bere bebrebe ɔmo pɛ yi ɔmo ani abere ɛne yɛpɛ majority matena to me for the past 7 to 8 years you have been majority leaders and as a matena majority for the past 7 to 8 years and for so dear bepa ne anya free mo
no mo nim say omadi kan akɔru akɔtena hɔ no speaker by inside no speaker ba ɔka say honorable member mo free baby an wɔtam kɔtena mo seat mo na sɛ mo ankɔ obetimi agye hen
and omo yes omo mpini a ɛne turo ma beef up security no mo tie be ne enti omo beef up security anɔpɛ wɔ say speaker no ɛne adwumayɛfoɔ no ɛne mmarahyɛ badwafoɔ no bambɔ nti ɛna yɛahyɛ security mu kena ɛti sɛ wobɛyɛ sɛ hehe memfie a yɛbɛhyɛ marshals no na ɔmo nso ahyɛ aposifoɔ no na ɔmo abɛpa mo afiri hɔ is that what you are looking for obi a mo na mo ɔseɛ sɛ yɛpɛ man na so ndue yɛpɛ man na so ndue ɛde ɔmo kyerɛ
ɔsɛ ɛdi mmara so
emirika ɔkwan
8 o'clock
apɛnyɔ pere dodo apɛnyɔ marking ɛpere dodo ɔsɛ kyɛ bɛnsa bɔ nso a kɛnɔma wɔ nyina nsi ba yi si kyɛ bɛnsa bɔ nso na bubu yɛ nyina bubu bɔdidi no wɔhyɛ kyerɛ na ɔyɛ nɔɔma o wɔhyɛ kyerɛ ɛna ɔyɛ nɔɔma ankɔnka wo bi a kɛnɔma wɔ nsi kyale obi a ho nte wɔn yɛ kɔ so no obi a ho nte obi a ni bɛm they are all at fault ɛnu agudie mu nsɛm bere nie fandi atena se ɔbɛbɔ yɛ nkɔmɔ wɔn yɛ kɔ so ɛwɔ agudie mu nsɛm wɔwie a ɛnkae no yɛde bɛbrɛ mo nneɛma a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔteɛ saa bere ni ɛkɔ soɔ ɛwɔ mmarahyɛ badwafie ɛnɛ da yi a yɛbɛhwɛ sɛdeɛ nneɛma ɛbɛsi akɔ wɔ mmarahyɛ badwafie no yɛde ne nyinaa ɛbrɛ mo fandi akɔ aba bio.
Alright, back Kwame Minkah so come they say nano pay. Good mu sima ya bo no say Power Sports. And they have sumo DwaboAse Jumede say Power 97.9 FM and after to TV XYZ. And nuksua ocean come kan 7 and dos we dey kan edit na come what unu say nno be remu e wo eye unu say this is the big soccer on etimi e koso rank e say Ghana no betimi akon ye and so e dey come akon say the Ghana from the Blasters team no e be see a big soccer Nyoma and Shada and Koye and Famaye and so head on 7 and so a Brondra and Bra Roger Emmanuel Etnas. I just say ex footballer be I was shown so also the new same ever 2 who 7 and so a come I'll copy Mudia. I just said Noma a Kosu Papa and so on. Coach Otuado it's me a copy our pram and so at the second crown echo 2 days so Coach was around Crano and so on 7 and so ever Mario copy Amon say I just say the UEFA Champions League on a Sanso a Basso and a Drake kama yeah the first chest nina and so my Virgil van Dijk and who say Neymar de Santos Jr. after so prior they said about on etimi asa return kama kwa de 7 nina and so man na onim say I dare say agudem say about no pay yeah de Dovita Hewa Clinic and I say asan no pay yeah de agudem 7 and so Dovita semen kan say Oyo obi a yade se omogya no aye fia obepiem e wo hono ma yade se omo adura no ma beboa na cleanse blood vessels ni nyina enso eti ama osaso me se me ka cho se yade se ode Dovita man capsules enso abadwama so yade se unya bi na no ya brand na so e bema na money mo enhyere enkoye e won paso a unya Dovita man capsules ni bi na no ma beboa ama bibia etimi akonka obetimi esipi esita kama enso hono ma yade ho nsem no enso emando Dovita se men kan cho se adese oyo bia wo I mean chronic diseases, cell liver diseases, kidney diseases, stomach ulcer ni ade na owe piem ho no ma typhoid fever nyina no owe piem ya adese omo so ano kama enso edemau enso ho na Dovita open a chair kwan dia obetime hu Dovita ewo awosi elan taxi station ho no ma ho no ana obetime enso ehu omo enso ho no ya de ho nsem no ma obetime afre Dovita ewo 0246 265313 and 05027160076 so friend na se we nyina obetime WhatsApp na de ho nsem nyina enso akogo bo be kan na de ho reply enso e de amada say 0502 716076 of WhatsApp na obetimi achos na ban delivery service no omo in the whole world obetimi deliver ma 24/7 omo ye adwuma come on Dovita ono ana asoma se na opemidi agude nsem enso ebro na producers no atamachi mamre nsem ebro Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch and after Justice Ebotela the Iron Boy and Ebo Machiro say President Martinez and no permitting seminal Ebro meeting I'm just one and the prince himself F to the A-N-T-Y Fanti seminal yes shall say either free the beach soccer the beach soccer of Ghana and I say big soccer and so sense media I say I just say Ghana and so ejina kwano and so our Egypt yeah the beach soccer AFCON and so I shall so come back your first match a boy on in your man answer that koye Emma Ghana it's me ekodin cho honoma Egypt form etie a boy 6-3 and so honoma yentimi and winning and so the next match nanka ye position nanka ne oye ne omaya e Morocco and so the boy ni and drum and a match no etimi kwase we are see no na se Morocco for as Ghana for a boy couple num ama Ghana yetimu mienu honoma ye second match a boy no and your man answer that koye and my say last match akope and aka ye hwe nim se samat ne kwade do or die ye betimi ewini samat ne se bi betimi akonkan am ye betimi qualify to the next stage of the tournament ne so dia na se nyame ado ne Tanzania and so and be kama and so ama bibia akonkan se man Ghana etimi wini a ye hwe se qualification ye betimi aboa na etimi akoni se ne dua nyame ado ne ana samat no eso betimi abaso eso that's 12 p.m. pepe and I also baso kama and so my Ghana man I said match no ebe koso and so Egypt and I say beach soccer African Cup of Nations you know etimi koso kama ka don sem no and so said my Ghana 2 matches no ya bani nyina yentimi enwini wo ho na say yentimi nya points bia and so no my don sem no and so ma ye free beach is same beach soccer same one ne ko pm Gaka onum se Gaka no Ghana Lake Club Association and e twa so friend Gaka omo chairman papa ne din e kujo fiano papa no e de sekakra e da betu na no ada and I say ade say ye kase enkofo bia hyase wo papa no ho omo chese omo nya akra papa no ye ntu na se enfro no na say no man enhyira enkoye Gaka isan so na se ko hwa Gaka top 4 crampo no man enhyira enkoye na no ada that recently ni omo boy takwa TNA park no enoma mpelifo chema enoma anhyira anko etina kofo bebre na hyase wo papa no ho ayampia omo chese papa no ne nyuma ensoni nto omo no tuo na nko onfru ana so omo ne nase tuo na papa no entimi fa na juma ento no ontimi enko no ana papa we kuto no e de sekakra e da betu ja o chemu so say sankofo no mo kasa nsem ni onum de ti o mo kasa se na no na nsem no okoka eket okreku GF president hu sensem to hu se sansem no okoka no e na ma nkofo enso ahya se ekate ade se papa no yempam no emfri na jumo no so no de enya de obeka bibia na kudofia no e de senkakra etudwa mo menko tinsema kudofia no e de tudwa
mo e de nyina me ma obi atia se I am not doing it in my capacity as the chairman of Gaka. I'm doing it as Kujofiano. Would be a Ghana football. I hear the power. It feels like we are me cancel. But then almost on my dream, the American and Tassum, you know, Omoba impeaching from Ghana. Me person me ma omuti asese my ready. Na ade na ma sha ase no. Jimi hu ni wi Ghana football fan to my prefer. Ghana jwana mu akora ntino but me feel say the time aso. O say ni tu anamu ehwe say na me kan Ghana football fan to my prefer.
Eno seba kujofiano eswatu to be Ediama omo mashase ekase ade se yempa no emfa free gaka ho sesema yede ho nsem no enso ema yento aso ne fa good nsem no enso embroda no say ade se ndramante ana Roger Emmanuel the sportsman etana benua mu ewo TV XY say exports ana yede ebro na bra pani abakwa ye nya no enso e show ne so e abranti a osinakan enkale na ko sinakan edema Accra Hearts of Oak ana afa so siakan enso edema Adriana Stars enso ho no mede ho nsem no na say abranti and team ede Yusuf Lazio no and the team e PM e show no den sakakra e team betu dwa ede ma unu say ba e say Ghana demo no na Brighton e ka ho bia na say champion pa ano jemu a otu ban jiban enso ho ma yede ho 7 ndra o be PM e ban no the problems o say no we team identify problems e koso e Ghana Football Association e no ma e koso e ma Ghana football no e collapse nyina no de ho nsem kakra etu dwa
the problem e wonu krom ha ne say ye man for assignment you're not the right people. Somebody has said, you're not the right people assignments to do. If you know, your football is saying now, you're the best because if you know, you're not said yet. Oh, Obia, the DFA president is because almost a passion in your own, or as a businessman. Obia, business or didn't see the side, you know. That is why most of the S players are saying football has to be run by the footballers.
All right, no answer about it. We are no so edit to us no change. So say the Ghana Football Association hono say FNO football no your football na ye na was some commotion on your chromas in the football and then sika sem kwa and on the
Sir, kwesi apia ni e take kama ni na no omo nyina so omo pere so they are hungry
na di agane so omo ni
so they say in penifo di team nenu they are hungry and then penifo ya omo di football na business omo di football na your mufie properties and then so omo feri kura ho maso anti omo pese obi abeka so omo feri
na say what is obi akasa uzo ma yedi you see obviously Ghana for ye kan e beja ye bebre
you see
say that is some you know obviously Ghana for no as everybody e de ye bebre na ye jai nti ye jai wi a no muso aba be kan omo de
bia one time hwe ade bia one time me pese me catch efefo so omo nkyere bo efefo omo nkyere bo ade bia ye nyina ye beto blaster ye nyina ye be call ja blaster ho no matter what say o de opa ka de opa so o ka say I me pese me call third term me person me call fourth term obua you lie o ye dan ya obeja ho
o we na so how no sound so to be ba e the man the ex footballers ni bi e ban akeka ne PFH for no o to be mo pa esa so se krofo bi ho no ma o se ex footballers ni bi ho no ma o ma yo mo se o mo ye hypocrite esa se o mo pa adwuma e wo efe no na so mo hwehwe nim se efe no e ma mo e be ye favors bi e dia mo no mo pa adwuma bi a efe no betimi e dia mo no eno ntie nya de so se bibi nkoye e wo efe no mo nya de so mutimi ba bonten etimi e kan
retired footballers no so
yes
omo wahin omo so that's omo that too much yenti omo
they are there the problem that we have is
Tony Bafumu wahin
unim most of the S players as the legends now most of them are hypocrites I'm telling you right yeah omo bebre hypocrites obi an image hide obi an pese o me de me mo answer because me peduma wa efe me pese efe ni ye bibi ma me PFG for mo say ya PFG for bebre hypocrites I'm telling you me PFG member yeah. But we say some fight now we buy that energy now you dey buy so you pese e be bua Ghana football you pese e be bua express that there no is it existing something they make can say that there na nyaduma ene obi a be say
okay ne kwakwa mu no ana sanso to jana sanso the or the problems ni nyina buy or identify problems ni nyina no owie no sanso the solution pa to horo no change so solution ni nyina na say e o say aban no etimi ne GFA no e kambom no mo collaborate no mo timi nya adwa no e na be boa ama Ghana football asafa na ntoma peripheral
They say enunti saa die won ti na de bia make say your football ansa na be gina no. I just say governments have to collaborate with the FA because say aban ebem na aban won committee FA won committee aban na dis kan ba am ya dey football no enti aban e dis ka ba FA aban committee the FA ti okay so ya kwa bibia yemienu ana e enti ase ya adwuma na dey ka say hwe I was say yenya aban bi oban officially say I am coming to collaborate with the FA and no such statement is something that is genuine.
If you don't allow the
okay, I know and some of Timmy edit to your PMO and so TV XY Exports and so everyone sound to be and so amount here share him say baby beba or bet me akaso no bet me to net team na say FA no aboma Ghana your football won say 7 8 me fan and to my pa and so afraid won 7 Brian to aso na fa gudem 7 and Brian Ekoko head coach and the senior national team the Black Stars of Ghana coach Otuado unu say na no time rampen for a power no e ka so no and be fa Black Stars team no and first cause on ball to by engine by more they say otimi e ka so otimi e say kakra to jaw chem so see there they say Dortmund juma no or the he said, oh, my Ghana who has said, oh, share, so be share, over Ghana, to Kuro BMU, next with my players, and so Ediama the Black Stars team, no, it's a drum, I dare so copium, oh, Ghana Soccer of Excellence, and all, oh, pram, and so Akache, I dare say, under 20, elite, under 15 tournament, El Cosu Kama, and so on between the regions, no, and so El Cosu Kama, no coach Otuado, it's me copion and Grano, it's me coding, encourage you, myself to us, na football, no, this so many so, among Bonnie and Dachibiana, I just one shot Blast Stars, no, or makes me a PMO Hormon, and so many PMO Blast Stars, or makes me a baby for it's me could see a kind come, and so on my doing 7 and man brown, Otuado copion, I just saw Tanase, it's me matches, be an essay, a Santa region, and a Western region form. Any bueno otimi etna ho ehwe bi sanso na eastern region any upper west region form and say upper east region form and so a boy kama hwe ni nyina ebi enso ho no afa eba no northern region form and so no bruna half region form and so etimi ohwe samatis ni nyina and afa ode encouraging them oka chen kra ne say omumbo omumode na bo no mo jeni no ma start ne de ade se betimi enso abo mo am ye de ho nsem no enso ma ye nto aso na yen fan sam no enso emara ne kopiem na nese Samates omo general manager ever panedin e de Edmond aka no e de senkakra e da toja no say last week and I said last week you know I said the Ghana Premier League match day 7 no e course between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Samates after the match no I say who say penche because so between the supporters in my so Kumasi Asante supporters no I some koto ball e boy Samates for e basis money at and so on I didn't take a no say and so abakromu ase no ana Samates manager papa na din Edmond aka no e say kakra atoja oche say se ban se Samates threat ana se Kumasi Asante for show Samates for dia na se Kumasi Asante ko mu adwuma ye papa
so yan kan fuma ya me yo say football no it's about competitive so if Samates and 3 years away not around just 3 years now your best will competitive and take the club right from Marava the intimidation started so beautiful and such the standard.
Okay, I know and Samates manager and a general manager a team edit to get home 7B and so am I yen too far say be fun who they PM and so on and someone and PM CAF and so Akate and no the Confederation of African Football I chaso a friend CAF on and no president or DNM Patrice Mochepe or no and a chairman bibia a team conkai and so our Ghana and I say Africa we bring your football no or chairman bibia a team a conkai no and some about on say I dare say under 17 tournament and so enche ebeba so kama ye de ho sem no and so man no and some partners they said under 17 for no kono they say the CAF no dey aba eche say MRI no they say be twemu yan sana yetimi edi amasi ana say yetimi ama players no ati ana say ya pom say botimi eti akobọ ball kama and so edi ama man no and akoba say ekopie mu dey say Guinea ana fa Guinea bisa ana Sierra Leone for in 24 echirema they say omo players omo dey ba car na so mo nkofo a omo de buy so omo submit omo so omo e dey go see omo na kan anan no e under 17 e wafu zone A no tournament na e be ba so no e ade so sankofo ni nyina mo ko MRI test no enya ade so mo nyina etimi e qualify e disqualify mo nyina enso e dey free sense e ko hwe so mo mpo mu no enyi che anyi che obi a we di 17 years esa say otimi ko hwe bia obi mu etimi edi be 20 ni 23 ni ade ana we say because of mo body ni nti ya che say omo ye under 17 players they say they pay for chema e Guinea for Guinea Bissau and Afisilaren for in pay for chema say omo disqualify won enso e dey free tournament esa say under 17 no e ade say omo bro so enso ho ma e de ho nsem no enso e ma e ade say enche tournament no enso e betimi asha se kama e de ho nsem no enso e bro na unim say ade say ne no the UEFA Champions League no enso ebetimi asha se kama yenhwe never fixtures no enso enfama dia say NCT AC Milan etnefi no ne Club Brugge enso edi aboni kama enso no ma yede won se Arsenal enso ene Shakhtar Donetsk enso ebebo Aston Villa ene Bologna enso ebebo Girona enso ene Slovenia enso ebebo Juventus ene Stuttgart enso ebebo PSG enso no quality edi PSV enso edi bepani na fe Real Madrid big match man Real Madrid and Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund, and so at the Aboni, now for Stana, and so at the at the Sporting CP, and so at the Abonian, at the home seminal, and so Mal Kamakanon, and Matis Betimi Abbas now Okopiemo or Liverpool, on captain Branton at the Virtual Van Dijk, I dare say a contract on, I dare say a baby, and a scientific bar, and it's a Branton or the better just say, I just want Liverpool paying for a drink, so Beshe, no way to me assign a contract for, and so at the man of Wakao, no ultimate Juma, a demo Bobo. At home seminal and so my Yafakum anyway, and 2 years everybody and so copion their Neyman de Santos Jr. They say Branton Escocia kind and so Arab Timosia kind Al Hilal a whole Anosia kind and so Branton only say I guess Branton on etimi a prayer and so Honoma do 7 said Branton on etimi are returning kama Osia kind and so at the amount Al Hilal at home seminal and so my said you copy the Neyman de Santos was Sanso are returning back to football after say onya AC or now okoye no wasanso ababa kama ye ho nsem no enso man say ha ana me kwane say good mu say bob no na no pay no ye mfa ni nyina ensire wo hye no so say Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch Justice Ebotela the Iron Boy ebo mechiro say producer me tena say no pay me nsem no bro no me din amejis one the prince himself F to the A and DY Fanti ba bro Kwame answer na Kwame fa enchake say efama NDC unit committee member
breaking news
your friend Bright Mr. Bright Ofri Abeka post office or NDC unit committee OTA come
dodo na so tie Samson Alex Pencil ne Felix Chinta Munyina eti omudi achi wo Facebook Live Power 979 TVXYZ Ghana and the biggest story a yedi achi ne ekoso e wo Ghana mrasebegafie Fanny the Agudi Monsem, Abre, ye Dani and Waba, ye ba, ye do go straight to the Parliament of Ghana. Yenuya or therefore Kwasi Bechi, our standby. Ye yan and TSA, Asirafo binum, and in Namho. Ye the video no better. Asirafo binum, and in Namho. Parliament is just the Abatuga, and nano pages will be full of security by 8 a.m. And Obama Kwai, Ama parliamentarians, no, I go with a chamber hall. Question: a year day, 1 year TTA, and now Dom Kumano, ATV Kura Chamber Hall. No more pedia wabra, woman in a news at 8 a.m. And your Bema Quine, I'm on my Cotina Chamber Hall, and probably a BCA.
Remember who we are singing now.
asemaba na sawote konkoya na trasa asemaba na sawote konkoya na trasa asemaba.
Asemaba na simple. Chief Justice and I said Supreme Court. I am ruling. Ewa temua. Speaker of Parliament. Everybody say. Mrasebe for my own madring. Say omunya nyina on the ticket of more various political parties. So makonya na be dampai. Court also atemu. An atemu no based on amanfo bebre interpretation on there. Partially say near speaker no. Adi two dwa speaker na temu no. Yem mono bongalata na say yem fanto nchai enye adwuma. But ene speaker ada na di. Wonsem bia wotwe ye ewo Facebook. Say obi enso nchai emra ewo oman Ghana. Obetimi the speaker no the statement no wotwe ye ewo Facebook na say social media no at screen no so. Wabra nche bia be call ye nua odefo kwasi beche ene da ya mrasebe dwafie eba asetenam. Na asetena ye omo ba mu yi no enye kwa in fact woman na no no mo ye dom kuma no ene oma ba ye dom kese oma no mo ye dom kuma no abaye oma no mo ye dom kese no abaye dom kuma na asa da ne baba no enra enwumre mu ho baabi ena honorable Alban SK Bagben ne Facebook account ye wu say watwe bibi say e de abeto say God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong beyond any single individual or institution. Now, no, I'm for I interpret it bebre. Ebisu say, oh, nature say, and speaker on your band say, or the 9 basic form. Na said ye share a city, said ye mamma and city, no, what share amena, aye, Juma. Then Chabia wam Rasabe fear, Wabromoba, a citramo and neno, and I use a strap for, and then none and more. I feel apart from myself one also. Me di kaka cho say dom kuma no kotena dom kase na fa e wo mrase bedwafie ho kai say wo hihye na yetintimagu krata so a me kinkan bi kire mo no wo se ebo no wotwe a e no babie ama mrase bedwafo nyina anya akwanya abetena chambers wo eti ye dan e na dom kuma no nya akwanya e gotena ho ono ba agboja governance na wadwa pa na tie di okan tie.
You know that what he's doing. Why is another already sitting in there? When we were told that the room opens at 8 o'clock, yes. He's already sitting in there. So they are the ones who are going to cause the fight.
Yes. So there, Chief,
eti tesa de okan no. Yasem rasobe jafo nyina beba be tena se 8 a.m. Eti ye den na another tena ho. Manya ne tie se wodi muaye bi aba ana wa homa no so. Honorable another bro wa man so. Okay, and I say on another pre ensem no e wo ho a ye betimi atie. Ye ti another pre wa bra na wo yi honorable agboja governance ano.
Me be jumanta. And I'm not compelled to give you time and me right chamber. Okay. Me be jumo opio ni mi dia di so me back. It's part of my arrangement. It's me right chamber ba chamber hand. Me do hand president. Next 24. Me busa mo say, can I access the place? Masha Wahamo, 24 go behind me and find out. So Masama American in media. They say yes. And I be wrong. Me call me no honorable Adum and your partner.
Every man said na yet.
Me to be time, but I entered. I know the young people in the me wrong.
They are Machiano.
Because of Machiano, I know I said anything. I entered the parliament because the place was open. As my make a be a wounty. We saw him say.
Ye buso masam so no madwa o. Ye chim so no madwa. O busa se ahomachi ana se anopa yi ana agotena ho. Eno so adwa. Ya kwamra so badwa fie sa brei. A ye tete sa asrafo bi ne nane namo. Eno so de ensefo fro aba. Odafo kwasi ba chie ejira ho man. Odafo ade na ekoso. Hello odafo. Me nim se odafo teminka. Odafo teminka me mo ache. I mean, so therefore, Teminka, but now we shall walk with TV sources here. Mrasobeja Fia, who say Mrasobeja phone be a bar, or Mujja, or Bianya, Quenya, so be wuram akotena se kai se krata na ebeda abonti a deputy marshal no ena ne nsa hyase no edan na di se ebo no wotwe a ena mraso begafo no benya akwanya abewuram na dwumadie no omode ahwehwe so but minim so therefore nya but therefore so tebinka me mo ache baron tebinka yentie de mraso begafo no bi no mo ka che ye nuanom bi nsentwefo tie
doing here
before
when they
even 3 or 4 a.m. and were allowed into the chamber.
The point is that if they were equally not here early, how will they know that the chief here was here early? It means that they are here early, and as you could see, they had a very plan and they had come here to invade the chamber. But when they came, they realized the majority chief whip, who has always been here early, was already there as usual. You have been corresponding for Parliament, and you could see that all time the majority chief whip is always in the chamber, even 2 hours, 3 hours before we start. You can count. We are just 4. The majority chief whip, my good self, the MP from Poho, Deputy Energy Minister, and the Deputy Transport Minister. We are just 4. There are over 30 standing there. What are they doing here? It's 7 a.m. Parliamentary proceedings start at 10. What are they doing here? 30 of them. They are all their leadership, the minority leader, the deputy minority leader, the minority chief whip. They are all here. What are they doing? All what they seek to do is to cause panic into the society, to send lies into the society for us to be able to say what. Rather than that, what the majority chief whip, what he did was that when he came as usual of him, the door was not locked. He went in and he checked that the majority side, we are still seated at our side. Our name tags are on our name tags, and the minority is still on the other side. So there, then the security said, "Oh, they are coming to do screening in there." And he humbly walked outside and was standing here even before Kwame Agboja started making his allegations.
What you said is true when it comes to Honorable Frank Anodom Praise. Always.
Eti yenuanum joyful na omone eye dom kuma afo ni bi edi nkomo. Honorable Agboja government no busa say ehhehye ne kire say by 8 ene ebebie chamber no be abetna ho. Is Honorable Anodom Praise suggesting say sa statement na free eye deputy marshal no we huna na because yes and for yes aka statement we ahomachi ya enti minim se wono so hunu ya yakwa ahoma so ne nua odefo kwasi beche eni komo odefo machi ede amanebo na obeti dia boy sa bre ya ya hwe anim se mra so begafie atenase no be hyase
why me that say amanebo o had man say de na onu yenuanam joy for video na wo bono ona honorable habu ni sem no ta no ane ko samre hanum yidin ma chabja for no edom kese tisi no dodo no awa ha ana dom kuma my NPP side so nipa be 4 ana wa hanum na sema na owura habibu eka ho atame eno an owura Kwame Abuja nso etisi aka say anhyehyɛ no a parliament bi gu akwan mu na on dance so da yɛ sɛ obeba na owura dondom pre etidem ho no nti on tia sɛ obi man ho kwama ni bi man ko trem na Honorable Kwame Abuja wo menchen wa ha le mi hwɛ sɛ me mum pin na me sɛ oni bi din komo kakra Honorable e pa cho FM TV so ma oba ha na eni ma ba de no sɛ no tifa ne de na wo hɛ ni mu ansa na parliament asase
NDC for ye ready sɛ adwuma start ya be call chamber no
Moko chamber ni mu na ekwan APC kan say what standard your court asem no de buy ni no APA yung si court na mo tina be bia mo se da asem na o ti ya de no so no
I do on speaker ama directive there will take will reflect on whatever Mr. Speaker says.
Why are you for the and come and na demonstrate don't think to all money again and na say normal thing
no you see me moon there questions are media bisano and your question efata se mo bisa question no say I am pass say yenuanu 4 aqua filing on the ticket of a party or independent breaching Article 97 1 G and H and then they have not denied it. And to say, yes, do we even have to discuss this? They have breached the law. And the Supreme Court, just as they did with the fact that Ghana birth certificate is not proof of identity, I think it's a bizarre and a warped decision. It's a similar decision. It's not based on any law. And Thursday, and I took free Parliament. We left Parliament as majority. This morning, NDC caucus is majority.
Kwame, na ne sam no ye on party a Not just omugina baby omugina na say based on the Mamra ne Kano Article 97 1G and H. So long as say Mrasobeja for 9 ayo madwe so omunyane omo party no enko wabro omo kwa abatwere no omo ankasa yi omo hwadi meboa
Kwame Sapepe na de wo mu say parliament etrance no omo di omo dwuma obra omo di dwuma no obie no kwan so omo kwan so omo tini no omo dwuma kada mamra no emo omo kwan na so omo di omo dwuma wie no bi se on ti ase a obeko Supreme Court for HPC the most asema parliament ayi aseni na semra wo ma seni gina ye wo ma seni Supreme Court wo fi se emra kwan so ana endo parliament eni o ha dia ho ba se parliament di ni dwuma the Supreme Court and another court to be another we begin by the case no mamu mundi mujuma akopin say ye asending hwehwemu obi dia asending aba court to transfer no eno no parliament obia emra na mo mu kan so obi bisi mu kwa but the parliament na transfer na o mu nyansa mu se do mu si o mu niema no o mu free say well starting with the young chairman determination of the Supreme Court or the investigation should be in urban emra and you man kasa o ma say because o mu say they are matters of their own business. It will be anything to move quantity. Only thing is someone near my extend or PPR, Sentia, about a phenomenon in Entema, Tano Mujuma over the years. If you hear any Musa send the speaker back, now a beer of a cassette is Supreme Court accounting NBC caucus, and Trabeziano Muti Asadum Kuma, a copy of the Supreme Court to be a Assembly. Now MPC, no some Trabezium Asadum Cassette Supreme Court to be the Assembly. Next afternoon, now at Tiasia and one big debate. So much as a stand pen at the day in Honor. But the Kobani say, if a casa, no so debate no so Montiasia, or Montiasia into the own in our own embassy and a parliament at the age. They no cheat no being Tias and no person court for interpretation and there and maybe and so much. It's an Omoyoma. And to know, come as a now so a phenomenon and Tiasia. Omavi, Ombetia, the Libra Comasem, but in Tiasia, you are no Mudomasa over coffee at home of the no my over the years, from the Ghana Parliament that you have 32 years in Omayano. Okay. I don't wish to say it here. If you said then, it's my cancer, I said, okay.
Was he yet in Komokakra and for Bambo? Now, who was on about Bujago say, sniffer dogs, and I say, and Kramo Muhi and Noma, as for Domuninan and Namono, a BB Noma, who we are sent Trenia, why are you on Rasabed if you watch a pa? What will be say pay? Now, so a year deputy marshal the statement to the better abontia now what die na this omubese bambo mukinano now we na no patra na
Kwame da say sa sojafo no mun kama no mo bafi hanom mre mienu na sa de otasi state of the nation address ana special budget and the anopano baba na sojafo na di card in kama ba hin ya fi honom ne ade asa special so man panyi ba honom ba da kasa but me did say the name Square a special day no maybe a soldier for a ding command by how but Samino as you are for coming so command and catches so Omunko washroom near the no Mujuman. It is a home year you Mujuman Frianum. That's all my Sebajana Cassia. Bambo Eshamasha, any police for you, Mamma, and my Sebajum and a Bambo Eshumonsa. And the answer third party be to my Bahanum and this is the Mr. Crispika need the own failure reinforcement. So you're funding Kamaba being Hanuman and fee say, Mahu be that state of the address, so you're funding Kamaba. But the Nedian and state of the international, but it be a said there that a next acquire special behind the vicinity because of the Supreme Court can and Untimedia, so you're funding and Kaman Saba Hanum and Opay.
A Yamra, a yep, Masobeja Fono, and Casancas. Yet himself one or Tripa and on Boda Chamber or Aquatanasi. Already, Tripamin trade the Cancoso, Afa, near ya. Honorable another pre echo raho adiaba kwanamen tiasie wo honorable another pre nin somebody tuja and say statement about bontia na free deputy marshal ho a na change say ya ye de ato akwam ma enede entrance ye dwumadie no is it a case minority for no o man for many amoso ana yan communicate atro mo ana and afa so or therefore obetimi aboamam mahu ebi obetimi ni obi edi nkomo afa ho a sa akukoduro na ewo eye domkuma afo ni mu no efa na free ase o ma wi ata so se ba bia no mote na no no ehwa no mbetera ne eno so free
Kwame enye se fi ba bia sa na mashebejafo ana se amanyofo eye omuniema se eba obi ka bi sisi ase the Oma fight no, where again no Oma fighting because the thing is, any part and Naya Omo Masebejum, as Oma Jane say, Ombeko content crow and any part could be I and Jane say, obviously content crow, Aqua political party be ana, say Annie Bia, a dear na, Constitution Article 97 1G each in Eka. Says Hannah said their uncle for Omunya content crow, and only political party be again. It's a vantage idea. Next, NDC caucus no abe 136 and the NTP caucus no abe 165. It's by parliamentary practice and by constitution no don't come on NDC for can don't come on NDC for this is only a majority. And the speaker at the ruling number omun be apart from speaker. Because speaker a judges no it's chief justice, executive state president, and I'm legislature I must be a foreign speaker. Enti asema speaker beka omudi be sorry no eno na ye wo masema omudi until say obi di motion e ba be ten speaker asema o kai no ta asema eyemra o ma gi atuma aye atuma ho enti na ne de obi bia nso mu kwa say o mbetena edonkuma na edom kese na fa asedom kese fi say na no ya wada ro ba asetan di sie ne embe ye dom kese na owura do no mpre e ben kakra enti me say woni mu san kwache ba ko bi na me say no on dem ano enti ma cheche mo bi kasa na me say no ano mpre ne bi ko ma
question me busa and say sa statement na deputy marshal and Sasia e che ene dan hihye no ada honorable anodom mpre na ni amoso ana bisa no
so ono de ono manu bi one for which the going to
hello therefore hello okay ma nyane ntia say or therefore ben honorable anodom minority chief whip no na one no edi nkomo edi afa eye san hwehwe a ene dey mrache bedwafo ejina so edi omudwuma kai se eye deputy marshal no ena na nsa ehye krata na ebeda abonten eso ase ena na me busa se ada nani amoso wanhunu ansa na krata no kra beba abonten no omum panimfo na wo mo mrache bedwafie ho no yanka njomo no munim ene dey oba ntami wo bewura eye chemba ho
Kwame,
yes, you.
Yeah, you take more de mammy say on or your beer or by Jumantempa. And my said that also any phone by Jumantema or no, and will rock Kwame Buja, Omta by Jumantempa. And can you take more de mammy to see and say, or buy in Temon, or Bubusai, a bamboo for the Wahan say, or victim of Trasiana, and woman, a quiet or Trase, anything or Trase, but to our mouth with any bad motive and I said, the Asa. And be to be and from so be a bamboo for a man, a man, for transmitting for, but why not or say, only meaning Casa or for, but you always say, Manu said Minka, I don't know.
Is that to say, Kratano, Ebeda Bonten, when you moshi? Because as a Krata Bisabe Bano, and Penny for Wofioro, see a new baby who come on.
Kwame, Tenkaya idea, or man who come in a casa, this will be the follow up question to him. Say, Kratana another way, but was say, only meaning come off, but you'll be only say, Tekakana on Teminka, Hana or Kata on meaning Kata or but your office or Katem sending can you no Katem and say, idea, and command who can't keep a question with it. But no one sooner, Dom Kumano to be able to say, I didn't know about for no man who found man inside. So I just got them all the buy, and yes, I have a speaker, she says, oh, but no meaning say, no, what you prefer, and I transfer and the Satan no, and to be do have more pay more. And Kumina, I'm for na carbon, I'm a you, I say, I'm much of for Don Kumana, Don Castin, and majority, minority, MPP, NDC, woman, made up on time. Yes, and no, what's any about Nessa. I find out my in now, but yeah, I could have the next day, and I said, for Master it was Yako.
Solid. Massa Banchina, Yatwan Common. Basadia ya a course of bamboo way, Emma Hokwama, honorable and not don't break over. A lead me to sa issue ya, honorable right honorable speaker, Erezi. And for the way, what Casama now was say, yeah, Juma, Nasa, and was say, Gina, or more ye Juma, Rasabe Fiono, or more one man in NCP. For instance, the last time, I think one of the clerks, directive beer speaker, issue. Ananka adia ba betia omoba be bobo nsem ho ebeti anse krata aliku wo baby Eric when this asem yechi wabra me mo acha mo akwaba and a big day
and a big day me say dodo na 80 Power FM any
TV XYZ no. Na or therefore kasa no. I understood him. His parliamentary press corps. And your kasana wan kasa here. Nasa only evidence biya. He can be queried by Parliament because he's technically a staff of Parliament. And to say in some now will be saying no, he was very careful. But the fact is, any decision that comes out of Parliament, the leadership of Parliament is aware. And this is a very, very important day. Important day because we are close to a constitutional crisis. And it's a banisa, any decision or any advice or any recommendation coming from ABR, Marshall, Parliament, or Mumpening for, and as Speaker of Parliament, it cannot happen on the blind side of the whips. The reason is this.
And they are part of leadership.
Because Parliament, na anka omubi omotinase 10 o'clock.
That's right.
Edu baby omotinase 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Sometimes na ban say bia and share wo and also they are going to sit for about 2 more weeks. Not just say almost sorry after 2 weeks almost maybe till 6th of January when the old Parliament ASR 8 Parliament na for no so aba sa mre no no mbetena ho nti akabe 14 days 15 days and under 2 weeks for them to sit to end this tenure. And it's a Parliament eba betena say 8 o'clock. I don't think say the whips will not know and to that extent inform their members to be present early.
That's right.
NDC MPs a press conference say kwan bia so speaker no na ebetie no ena omugidi say speaker no the oye no mfomso bia eni so ena minority NPP side no say omodie court ena edi asama ama omo nto omugidi wo court mu ena enrechi apenyumakin ebeka say omodie they are not ready for a showdown enti amoba na omohwe na NDC for say gidigidi ombe nante apie. They were part of the strategy to hoodwink NDC for say ISMO ade no kra menyame mfa enti we we ni to nchempe na wafa enti dia anob don prayer no enida ho bone. He knew, he's aware. And when he entered Parliament, for instance, say Parliament omo year renovation wo honti omo Accra International Conference Center enti owura honom no he will enter through the main gate.
But I want to hear some also was Wakaye Eche Joy and Wakabi chair or therefore Kwesi Bechi or Power FM TV SYZ. Say, answer no be wura chamber nanga sankasano. Obusa bamba for so wakwenya say obetimako. And a bamba for the man of quine.
Bamba
for the omunim.
They have been arranged. It is arranged. And I'll say it. Obia ponono ombe challenge me say me dintro. It is arranged. Look, when you get such directives from ABR, National Security, and Ghana Police Service, say we want to protect the Speaker of Parliament. Look at the tone of the statement.
That's right.
It is for the safety of the Speaker of Parliament,
parliamentarians,
for the MPs, to the extent say ABR MPs bodyguards, the bodyguards are armed. They will not be allowed into the chamber. That the public gallery is closed to you and I, people who don't have that exit and also license to enter Parliament. It tells you that the profiling is at a different level. It is for anybody who is the head of security there to know this. And because they said 8 a.m. would mean say they must be there in advance. In time, one say from Enranaju, when they would have placed people at vantage point to make sure say they are protecting Parliament as it is na baby ombetenano. They will be there very early enough.
It is argument about say
what was the briefing? Look, before security men are moved to any location for operations, the NSA will be a friend debriefing and briefing. You have guidelines. And what you said, these are strict rules that must not be compromised with. It near all be a prono. That person received briefing before. And it's what you got this briefing that it is supposed to be open at 8. And also, zombies. And now they are not really security men or party boys. And they are sure because any pani security near more briefing say it will be open at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
This category of people can enter.
That's right.
And there's their identity. We are bringing sniffer dogs. Yeah, the ABS scanners ebawa. Ebanisena embo 8 o'clock. Uma obi say then it means something is going wrong.
Because in the case of Owura, a year bosom Thomas bosom.
No, answer no. Let me say.
another prayer or didn't trust say or no dear or by honomentem and oko or therefore cast of mobile parliament in term do they come to parliament at 6 a.m. The incident happened before 7 a.m. It's so therefore telling me say a friend say another prayer or bejumema or no amache 5 no abedu on mana and the question mo bantem but sir some no onima me I'm disagreeing with my reporter say onima onye din but the fact must be put across. The fact must be put across. Yes, he's reporting. Yes. My preamble was that because he's a parliamentary correspondent, he's almost gagged to say it as it is. No, on person the name because I don't have a problem. But maybe person we use to say video way. A general so say they are not done prayer, you know, and the whole bunny a planned, and it is an affront to the directives from the Speaker of Parliament.
And that is what I'm asking. At the end, there was a talk near or bambonina. Wususu say or boy fuaso ema ye bu speaker then him tia and the other was because in the case of Bosompem Yasamono
yes
and I'm so
Bosompem a staff of parliament.
That's right.
And to all staff of parliament, you know, he is under the office of the Speaker of Parliament, who is the head of parliament as a constitutional body.
That's right.
And no speaker be the Juma. And all of us will be interested in how speaker handles the case because this is not the first time. Yeah. Say e-levy issues be by Emma Hansard no nipa dodoa more that they were present at the time when the decisions were being taken. Adia chin no speaker who say bi mu din efri mu Emma yebo clerk no koko say on koye sa mistakes no. This is not the first time.
Yeah.
So it is making me suspicious say ebia na nkofo bi ewo parliament or juma as clerks, but they have their own political motive, and what they are doing is undermining proceedings of parliament. And proceedings, yeah, baby, yakasa, they have to edit it and make sure everything is correct. Now, we could leaky because you want to enhance somebody's work in parliament. But so near na police near obi epono, what can happen
in this case? I'm not clear. I'm not done pressing a marshal of parliament. And a man of Saquiniano, one police, one soldier, was a marshal for no, and a mammy wine.
Me say, I still don't believe him. And if or not say marshal, it's on record. It is up to the speaker to find out from the marshal why he breached that directive by his superior. That is the first thing. Because once 2020 January. 2021 January, the course a soldier for every parliament. Yeah. That issue is still there. Last Sunday, Kwame Agboja can say, they will investigate that thing.
That's right.
And then he sent that directive again to security operatives that those who may be sent there for a certain agenda, if nothing happens to them today, tomorrow is pregnant. And to me, say, anybody who has camera. And I believe that if Parliament wants to go a step further, they should deploy some people to take footages of everything that is happening. Because a normal air course, it is like the system is abused, and institutions of state that must be seen to be acting on in some air course no more buomuni guso. Na kwa say yen e wa ban mu enti se won pa fine. E won ti ase a fakọ court, and then the court will do the dribbling as we all know. Enti me dey say that evidence must be there. If the evidence is there, now when you may be found in a certain footage doing something in breach of directives, rules, regulations, and then normal idea now. And say new and dinner now. Ochina embra any would be.
Okay, question be abusa a year or there for Mamusa. Say utie a year dom kumano, sabre dom kumano, utio moi. Say your music as I say, Akukodroni, a rich mubi, a womo casemo. Omadwin na yo say baby omote kane no e hwa no mbekwa akwotena. The same thing can be said of omo so dom kase no afa no. Sa awotoso ne akokodro na ye divided no. E fa na free. Ni zuzu aso be dey. Afa so try na reconcile with the Speaker of Parliament atwa ye e won social media handle. Me say mo fan to screen so na ye nyina ye nkinka mo betima ba power 979 and a TV XYZ Ghana. The Speaker of Parliament atwa ye and what say God bless our homeland Ghana. Obianu was so a chain, a institution, and as an individual Bianua also change your member. What reconcile way to feelings be a new year, media to any man, and then I walk a found.
But you say, Cecilia, baby, I do know. senior and Noma Ebekono, Nina Ejina Bagbin. So
that's right.
Bagbin is an experienced member of parliament. If you look at all those in the house called parliament now, he probably comes across as the most experienced with the longest in terms of serving the house.
That's right.
He's a lawyer. And Amijidi say, so with what she said no to na he's very careful.
Yeah.
He has a certain objective of protecting Ghana's interest.
That's right.
And not the interest of even the political party he belongs to.
Yeah.
And to do baby NDC for kra and no konto kwa jano. Say or ye no mebia omweni angel.
Yeah.
But their akosono, it's not the first time. It's not the second time. It will look like some people are interested in using the Supreme Court under the caveat of law and a constitution interpretation and using that as a source to manipulate the processes.
And as well,
because
parliament
yeah. Harun Edrisu Eka Bibi say, and anybody can go and Google and find out, say it will look like government is trying to use the Supreme Court to shift or turn the weight of membership in the House. Waka Besenko. Some na James Jechikwe sini sansem no ekoso. Eba ni na Supreme Court beka nene say ebia MPs anan na ye declare omo seat vacant no. That issue affects the interest of the people. But that same court supervised the declaration say James Jechikwe even when the case was supposed to be trending, say ono ontumi njina ma ne nkofo. Even to the extent that when the man was supposed to be going to his constituency to contest, there was kind of, I say it is a form of manipulation where the case was being heard on daily basis. Edu bebi na to force in our court. Speaker Kra make appeal to Chief Justice. Say ebe here ato force in a leader of parliament. Omo be here no and to say every day onko court no omo say debi yentie kopem tama jakpa ni tape eba ya asem no akoye dia se na akoye. So over the period no it will look as if some institutions are being used to undermine another key arm of government. And teno na nkofo e kan say constitutional crisis yaba. If Bagbin wants to go according to what he believes is the parliament or more normal standing orders.
Yes,
so person jina ne nhyehyeye so a megide say on form ye onye bibi boni bia enti amanfo e kasa ni nyina hu say omo kasa omuntumi nkasa dia Supreme Court no waye no omo say asem no na se ametie Okujeto who is a former president of the Ghana Bar Association. It has not finished or taken a decision on the case yet. It is just a preliminary order. If a preliminary order is has no terms of bia tamebesia na kwa say forever. Man na waka baby ne friend saying Sir John Becca say emrana and two orders na da parliament say stay of execution now how do you determine a case that's so sensitive of interest to both sides of the house when many people would have thought say at least within 10 days and because na waka say forever? It means say they are going to handle it just as it is they are dealing with the LGBTQ plus forever. E-levy so Becca a minority then went to parliament and then they agended it and up to now forever. So it will look like some cases forever for a certain strategy and I be so fast tracking. And to me, I'm expecting that when the speaker eventually arrives in the house, depending on how the two sides manage themselves as they enter the chamber,
there's like 7 minutes.
There's the likelihood of chaos. There's the likelihood of
that's right.
Whether it is the left side or the right side. Speaker Bar or no we are whether ebimu will gather to go to the left or to the right, and whether there will be disobedience or debate, or eventually if the speaker will say send your confusion in the interest of the
country and
I'm going to use a very strong word. The hypocrite institutions are akoye say bonia ekoso e wo Ghana ha and normal ekoso a affect institutions of state good animase. I said they have been sitting on the fence. I've seen Peace Council yesterday saying that we are trying to reach out to the speaker, to whatever minority side. Let us see how we can resolve it. I've seen a statement by CDD that the speaker should allow the Supreme Court ruling to go, and if they have any reason, they should appeal the ruling by the Supreme Court. Appeal under SC5, obi say unanimous 5 or that chamber unanimous 7. One say an institution of state. If you listen to all the constitutional lawyers, prominent ones who have spoken, they have been blunt. In fact, Kennedy Atta was blunt by saying that the Supreme Court is virtually doing politics.
That's right.
And these are people who are Kwekwa has spoken. The former Ghana School of Law, Akasa. Everybody is pointing to how can a certain institution of state be perceived to be doing the wrong thing, and because it is a strong arm of government, how do we act like that? Especially call a spade a spade. Say they in Supreme Court, catch and say but you don't tell the person who is whose equal position or strength or weight in terms of looking at the arms of government to say, okay, how can we continue to govern a country like this?
And in this case,
me suspect say one year, maybe a speaker and come back okay, I've suspended Parliament for maybe until further notice, so that this issue will be properly resolved. Ama ene anochina yeba parliamentar yemfa and crime mining and no man in say we are protecting somebody's safety. Mimi nyaya anka ontu sa na mono. Look, I've suspended Parliament indefinitely till that issue is resolved.
And the underlining factor one say Parliament any ukwan say BBAC wo memu ha edan na di say ye bu nanim tia. Erutie apanyo mark impo ne kasa enura te say dey make reference to her. The kasa no kwa besi say ye heard the speaker be because the speaker beka your be ye no eno na be chair Parliament kwai. And yenya a number of political activists ne scientists omakasa ne kire say ohwe ye mambra na first chapter no e kire say to me a e wo garden nyina no if ye ho na eba ana yana monsifo no wo hefa mrase bedwafie enti say ehye bi anasa atemu obi every another arm of government na eba bebu eye an arm of government a eno kra no wo de to susu die so a ni to me no so ten or other arms of government na ye oseye e na deba because osha Parliament to me or one e Ghana for to me no e na kura no said you see ye na ade no edamufo enti said ye eye asedi bia eye na ade anase mampanya so eye na ade obi adidi ko ni lemu enti eye dan na obi no atemuo ebeba be ye nhyeso ewo eye mrase bedwafie so na ye ne sa na nya animtia de ebu minority leader Honorable Apenyo Marken wabra na wo make those references can ya beduru say you ready speaker be you know.
You people are known for a lot of mischief, and I would encourage you. No, I will say it. I will not pamper. No. So yes, so let me address Joy News. Joy News, your role as a media house is to help our democracy. Zakot beji kebiano. Because on in brano now court akasa yeboko yekoko du echina na man the somado NDC fo wobatina me megwada me nkokwa atwero say NDC fo was at force in betina mego tuntum no on the right of Mr. Speaker. I'm going to fight. I will leave quietly. The law is my weapon.
Ain't NDC Fususi Mobe China. They are occupying the right of Mr. Speaker as the majority.
I won't give them that theater. I won't have that theater. Ghana is too responsible a country. There are respected people in this country. Chairman, my son is in a medical school. I wouldn't want my son to call me and say, Daddy, did you do that? My son is in a medical school. My daughter is in a law school.
And so but you see, the evidence say
wɔka ebedu sɛ yɛhwɛ deɛ speaker no bɛyɛ because speaker na nkyerɛ kwan a speaker na nkyerɛ kwan a
do you trust Afenyomakin?
Me, Sametiye.
Me, I don't trust him. Say, this is a member of parliament. Oko Gina on a press call, a casa. No catch a press call for there. I'm a mukrum. In sa oyi in kofu one then. Oye yearly thing osi oye tidal waves or pound in kofu waketa area no.
Yeah.
Oh, for there you to two and
yeah.
When he went to take video or pictures from Côte d'Ivoire, some other country, to come and tell lies at a time when people in that part of the country were crying for government attention.
Yeah.
They say into me yes defense in power support those who have been displaced by tidal waves. And he told a lie before press call. So Pepe Otnaona Okasa mean because Moka ended that and ma Osi and a pay. How do you compare the two?
Mame for back in two and Sabre ya kasa yenyan and TSA and not dom brandene dom. Omo afrefre MPP agitafo so momra eye mraso bedwafio but kai say nhihye ne say ene ya ye tai kwotena public gallery no ye ni akwanya se ye bekwa kwotena ho eti ye den na no dom brand supporters yo mo bai e fa no mo kwa kwagina o mo kwa kwagina ni mo ana o mo kwagina ni mo asadia yes ya she bambo ni mu kena no
enti
eno mo we kwa de o mo gina o mo inside o inside eno mo. And I
will not be surprised that the NDC, which is also very optimistic, say Bibia latest opinion poll said they are winning the elections, will not sit down for this to go on. People cannot abuse the systems of governance by bulldozing your way through. Can you imagine? Say, Anka 2020. Mahama, any NDC4 and to me insecure as many seats as possible that balanced parliament. Can you imagine the dirty things that have been going on? Look at the people here. Innocent people who have been marshaled to go there for the optics or for what?
And I'm sure they don't even understand. So if NDC, Eric, I'm sure say go for your way. Will be Article 97(1). G and H. Look at
the faces.
They don't even understand.
Is that not another press pictures?
So
another prayer Obaho and Apana Oman Kwame Minkah. What was the motive?
Yes.
These people are coming from Nsawam Edwejiri.
Yes.
And look at the distance. Look at the traffic.
Yes.
On that stretch, I use the Kumasi stretch often.
That's right.
And if they have been able to come here by 6, 7, it means they'll move free here by 4 a.m. Now imagine, so Obi Ko do Obi Ko Nima. So Ekofa Omo party supporters about what will happen. There'll be argument, there'll be confusion, and the necessary thing that will happen is chaos.
Material canon. Or therefore about human so me and say na ye ni nkomo therefore ni aye hunu say anot don breach it for ya bay boy mu ye da na ba na sa.
Kwame Minkah yeah, say no ye Abasebejafo na setan dey about International Conference Center.
Yeah.
And this etita for free in someone doje buy share on another spray any Dr. Bawumia t-shirt almost a car park of parliament. Na you woman and bisa about the meeting come and also okay. And I'm say na why no do mobile also honorable another penny invite so. Namzans may then. And also at the medical TV so and I was saying also one cataback. On the honor I don't know penny invite to mobile. But I'm also me free on the Masaba Conference Center, Nebano, A2 sprinter bus, outside the car by Quadi Room here. Now, there by no one say, Oh, bar, Obia Musa Omushi, no more room, there was almost now, Omukana, the room, the home SHS bus, Barco, and a sprinter bus, Ahodo, and on the bad with the Nipa on Bewaha, and what be doing clear. Not on pray and invite him to Mame as a Masabijan, Obia means a beer after parliament or beer or Kobe or Dumbako, and I say beer or Domoba na Dumba on one in your neighbor and Kajo between but some media almost t-shirt. It's our Kabako Katem is over another invite to a moment a mobile. But dear for Tumba baby, it was went to me and can't say.
Go for your generation away, woman, the air cost of Crampo, our Masabi, if you wouldn't, do they know? Because I just one of the cast and then
Ebia time say mu nyina mu na parliament yen konko yibibi say de aka chom so mu ama ye ne do mu ama ye de make that defense say nipa be han nipa o ma ba ku say ma mu bebro half because no ma de ku deport o ma be manum so MP so mu ama because Ghana e ya majun sen kamne ne kata na o ya obusa am say de ko TV so na o so on ne kata back so ka say nia ne so ora anodom pe and invite na mu so hwehwe mu so a o mu na o ba o bia hye ora anodom pe and Dr. Bawumia t-shirt a o mu de ejan ho no
ba o hwe say de o masi abodom pem eni nhyiamu ye o ma ye ya se mfa mra kwan mu o na ye dan na bambofo na yesi ya hye mu dwumadie mu kena ene dan ama ho kwan ma bibi sa asie
baby a mugina se say dey metima ka say enu ni na dwumadie ni ho eni hweye because baby o mugina make say ho me public place enti amam vote ni han ho the program amam vote ni be fast ko mo ka so ho enti ni se ko ba ni say parliament class or international conference center ha ma let o be wura ha na mo a na bia e be hu adekude poti o be wura ba baby o wo no ba e wo baby a parliament be class de no e mu ye den sa tanko fo no be tima ba di wura bia e wo se international conference center ha no.
Okay, jira homano so Eric Wadwin kire bi
therefore me be so baby a omugina we omewura old baby anka parliament dey say nka motena se won say omo di dwuma bi wo ntina motena se e wo conference center maybe so omo ewure mu e na akogina baby a tent ne wa na omo wo outside conference center area
baby omo wo sisi ane parliament old parliament me find say state house baby a man for year no car park wono ana omo gina
me da se bebre you see the reason why na maybe say assembly or therefore line so answer na ahoho bia ebeba parliament no sa omo do so a gate na wo ho no omo bisa say mo ko hin why na invite mo because parliament itself is supposed to be a security zone.
That's right.
And to me rem by heart and he say omo moti main gate no ebe ma omo kwan say officially dwumedi bia enkoso am gidi say wo parliament a obianko make request say ene me constituents eba parliament say ebia they have access or they will get access to the public gallery to witness proceedings. Say ombetias yes say yeka embreshe dwagum how do you say it in tree embreshe bedwafie omba bedijuma now say ye ma omo access and maybe say one is this or can I describe this as bia obeka say unlawful say assembly ana na police service omo sankofo we no omo ye ne den because NDC for so ba honum sesi would they prevent them if they don't prevent them na argument cause say na me no kase na obi eni abotre say bia ni MP be nya abotre na koto blow na dane pintem who has caused it. It say when the buses were coming the police have intel that intel would have told them that look this is a very special day. Tensions are high. All the security analysts are saying say Ghana is at a boiling point. One sheni ya adikitu away ebetumi ama de ebe koso okrom ha no enko yema obia. And the buses ebe ye be ne there will be a directive that don't give them access. Then if I were the IGP, I'll quickly move that send a rapid response team and make sure they cordon off the area and then they persuade them to move. If they will not move, just as they treated Democracy Hub, just as they treated them, if they will not move, they should get them out. But so what's now ma omo assemble say it is an indirect provocation, and I believe that the NDC, being another equally very strong populous political party, will not sit down. They will also try to demonstrate that where are we taking this country to?
And then the question, no, I was for what did you here, but we are better Jumedian. Wabra what they mean about Tidiacoso, our Masabe Fie, and no, Sabra Yakase, and Pipia Chita for no, and Alcobodom Pim, Minim send this in Subaya Bidia, send this in Studio Machita for Beba, Yakwa Manasona Yane Godwin, Akogan, Deputy National Communications Officer, Edwin Como, Ako Marchi. Hello, Gun. Hello, Gun, what's been coming, Wache? Emerson Akugan and Tim and Camisramo, young working lines on a BBN TV Cosso, 101 on my Akugan, Eba Humanusona, what to read in a reaction about Coswana video on the tray, and I share a go for your Macobo Dompim, our Rasabaga Fee, and is it said your Eric Kaino, where and yet the Biako, and a very unique day, and I a damn security analyst,
dodoɔ no aka sɛ ɔman ghana ɛda nkwantanan bibi ketewa bi bɛtumi de bi wantwi anaasɛ bibi basaa bi ɛtumi aba wɔyɛ da a wɔsi yɛyɛ biribi a yɛbɛtumi de abɔ yɛka bi ma mi nka bi amamuo ɛho ban wɔnyɛ da a yɛtoto nneɛma ase yɛnkɔ ahoma no so Godwin Akogan Deputy Communications Officer aba Akogan memo akyɛn. Medase pass wa Japan so ne yɛbɛkasa wɔn yɛ hunu sabre wɔ mmarahyɛ badwa fie ɛnɔ matena se ne bɛkɔ so ɛnɛ ne yɛbɛhu sɛ NDC da so yɛ majority anaasɛ ɔbɛba bɛda ne minority na wɔabra saa deɛ wɔkɔ so no anɔdɔmpere a wɔdi ka kɔwura chamber hɔ as of 5 a.m. wɔabra nhyehyɛ no kyerɛ sɛ 8 no mbɛkɔ akɔtena aseɛ no a wɔse bambɔfoɔ ne ma no kwan ma no kɔyɛɛ no yɛka sɛ wɔde n'akyitaafoɔ abɛgu mmarahyɛ badwa fie menka baabi a ɔmo yɛ ɔmo dwumadie no ba baabi a kane no na ɔmo di ɔmo dwuma ɛhɔ na ɔmo abɛgu woka ɛdeɛ na wɔka fa ho.
Yo, it can change our FM, phone, you know, I'm actually at this before, say, among Kamakuma and from William. Now, a man, yes, I saw more Ababegu or Honor. I pity them, and I did ever 2 or more so. I pity them. Now, so, yen in I am fancy true. The Bibia Ebesibiano. It is another bread and a bawumia. Who have placed these people in harm's way. Share, baby amufri bano eyen sawom. Baby amufri bano eyen sawom. Ekobane se munya ho mufamu ho edidi ewo Parliament House. Na mutina mo bases ni mu na se mo kwa na wapa. And when people identify you, the mona moko Parliament from Parliament House to a friend say in Sawamuno. Mekase Kwanewa Yabu. However, Yakase Parliament Dano, it will be 8 o'clock. Ediama members of Parliament. As at 6 o'clock. Na MPs bi ewo edan ni mu omo a omba be use scanners na ade no as at 6 o'clock no bia emaye intino se etuo eto ewo dan mu a yehu pe enkrofo bi e de nieme bi akwakose hodeda because he can't show say e have sani baby a yeah, starting at 8 o'clock into offices on Babaya's scanning. No, they will come before the 8, into probably at 7. But before then, Nas will be it's Nikura. Your friend is say a demo. Me papa, your friend is say Savlugu a MP. And Okana send say Oko to say Ubia Jinejina ho. That's the nipa ba could be ekoto fem. Ni ekohun se bibi si fema omo mo gyina ho no ye misa omo na omo a omo ko squatre wo ho no ene ebebi som se bi ya no mo begya sa ade no egu fem ho mesre NDC ni bia opese o ekohwe program no ko follow eyi no se mo bia nse NDC atare wo ko ho a se wanka se wata ye fakọ because and then no a different day. BB because how the thing has begun. No, I don't need the prophet to tell me say I don't need the prophet to tell me. And military for also no, I wouldn't be surprised. Said before I ever saw no, Speaker may walk all of them out. I wouldn't be surprised. It can walk everybody out there. Never come a police for I'm your daddy then no you and a edijuma our Parliament. And I mean person be brave and be because I'm not paying calls a minya. I go for a friend. said they must teach these people a lesson once and for all. No? Of course, and also. Wow. That is why I'm telling everybody, because you can dress your own dress now. We are citizens of Ghana. Mm-hmm. You have a right to that place. And we pay asema mekano no. Mean shem come, Minkah and send the amano and what. But the might be Nanseni Awa or Betfiasie. Na enye Bibia maybe teach you an idea because whatever be the situation, no Ghana force so at the back of the MPP for no. And if for the Baku crazy, and so Ghana for a Parliament or and na sebi another umbre we Nansenia. Anka baby agree, Obesa empa and Nakwakugu Parliament or baby agree, Obesa man Akwakugu and Crawford in Fiai and Fiai and the baby told with him.
Say, Godwin Akwagan, Yemfazia, Medo say, ne, Wobra no Adaje, or reacting to me, Ecoso Sabre, our Ghana Rashabi. Jumediano, Assas, Ebesas, Yano, said no, Julia Cassia, baby. A year a dino na Rashabega for Etima Babe Eric, Yakasa Nortree, and you be a dynamo Mabel. And I feel so about young members of the public now. Canation share no, Nanka public gallery no, yet to be quite now. Near share said ye proceedings Ebesiako. But said ye ne, as Yako yet da, or my Ghana, and down Quantana, do one say, and then you better test it, your mamma na who deno, any day what attention. Ewo enframemu no enu nti na wo speaker enyansemu no omo dia beto dwa se ene day de members of the public no enyama ho kopem se omo ade beba beto dwa agese se de omo akwanya so question is say eye den ena anodombre e de sankofo omo ebegu knowing very well of ya speaker e de ato akwemu obebe America but answer na no say 8 na nya abo 8 upon be simadunsia yeni odefo wa homa no so yene no enkasa odefo e de na ekoso sabre yenya bie e pronama mrasebejafo na na
samre de aja do aja bo aja nya aba e mrasebejafo ye bie prono abambofo ne bie prono mrasebejafo a e wa ha ene centralfo ya ba be wura chimbanim international conference at baby a mrasebejafo na yi se na wo bi djuma no na ye ba ye no owura atoforsen e wa ha owura amakofibu a wa ha na ana ada MPs be meeting MPs be NDC MPs be 30 wa ha na omu nyina tra speaker ensa enifa so said the majority for extra or fall for NCA mu na mi speaker ensa bonkum so no MPD a enti ho no na de akokoba dan the speaker bonkum so MPD anti ho no mo de necessary na no ya wada gina ya na sebejwa no si say tamwe ni nipa 9 eco independent ni no NPC na ba be don kuma o na sebejam that's the omu trabre ebe speaker ensa bonkum so na NPC MP so etrabre akwa speaker ensa enifa so na ora atofo sin etina kunyom as a majority leader say but area ba kwa fn say ora Habib o deputy majority kane majority whip I na o deputy majority minority whip no ora atofo sin say the nka ora afenyo mark ya chance na o tran nchen pepepe ana mu nyina edi enkomo esre and so far NDC for no action wo dabre as a majority but na NPP for no so de omunya ma mewuram de sana edem hanom ekisi na me hu sisi a MP for kwada so ono so aba okwache owura atofo se as omina edi nkomo kama na kwanya ade ba kwa ye ni se ma se bitafo no omu ye enafofo pa omu di nkomo omu ye bibia na eba ne se emra kwemu ene amanyosemu ade a deserve se omu di ho akini ana so omu ye ano baba ye na omu hu esigrayen oba omu fasa de ni miago omu kan ni bre so na ni bre so sa pepe ana free na no via wada empim na ekoso e ofi hanom omu se enti ba ana be hu se enta na ye na sai be ma na sa na be koso te se de na no ya wada o sigrayen na ana se the Supreme Court aka ti speaker ka se yen twi no na no ya wada gina ye insani nti the Supreme Court be kana se shatia de hu se de be si bia no yen fan kam TBS so the power FM table na kwa me gusu ama hu owura no dompre on so te Ora Habibu nchen every ora ato force so I say omu nyina ate majority side and the speaker ba dey be hu say NDC MPs na majority omu try on baby omu try na say NPP and MPs never try omu try and they say ora do say speaker ba so ba wa be sorry abetena majority side and na so obetena ho no man no madutuma na emre no so a yem fan kame power for any serious size the TF4 ni ahefo
na so therefore omo be fra majority for the NDC majority for the more MPP minority no abefra NDC majority for the more
NPP minority na one hand say owura no don pay and then the deputy Habib muneke owura take majority side owura to force ya trend ku as majority leader na ade ba ko ayet fani ay nwanwa ne say akunya nyensa na esronko ofie hanom dika akunya majority leader akunya na minority leader akunya nyina yituntum enti omatwe akunya no tuntunu ba akwa ba bia say majority for ntie no ana owura Habibu eteso that the cabe person no ye afeno mark akunya no ana no rompen na ato force nso tin akunya so say then majority leader ana no rompen so tin akunya no yellow ba ko say kilo ba ko so a ono so owura Habibu nche ana omu nyina di nkomo so omu de omu sa tetre omu sa ana ni we tri ana do president sa tre amabo aso ana omu di nkomo na ato force so omu sre emane ye nika Kwame democracy ye de enti omu a ye de Ghana mamma na so omu sa ye fa democracy ni adwuma omu fa obuo ani ti ema Ghana constitution na 1992 Ghana form penifo bi kwotena se hye se we ni ade a ebe boaya ebe te mama Ghana ko nani ye ni sa na liste bia de oman na ni ko bofesta ye de Ghana ye be ko ye ma se be dia ye we
okay therefore medo ase ye besa ba nche na de o bia no watimi e de ato so it ye play back ye san kwa ye chi na one by one and no man see in the last few minutes no ye san bobo so enchemo it is o hwe TV no so a wo se ba bia dom kuma no wo no akonya no nyina so ye empty e ho dampai please show that side no e ho nyina dampai obi anti so and na hwe ba bia majority for no wo na amanfo afele enkonya no te said you therefore kind no MPP minority no abefra NDC majority ni mo eti ba bia NDC majority ni tie no e ho na honorable Habib ni anodom bremo enso akopo omu nkonyo ma betenatara a omo to omu di nkomo sresre etwetwe omo ho de omo nsa pimpim omo de omo nsa tenetene no ma na se ni nyina beba be gina yie na etimi a kire ba bia omeko wabro mo ko manima just speaker of parliament right honorable Alban Kingston Bagman abetenase na no ono no obekire said ye atenase no ebesi akoba sabre ya kasa de NDC majority said ye atemu na speaker ema ye na no ekire no baby a ewo so motena no makotena which is majority side no and MPP no de wonya nkotena ne minority omumu kakra o maba e de omu akofra NDC majority no Eric who wanna say
well me feel say senior or therefore kind no democracy here there yes there when we respect the dictates yebama normal akosania SSL but minjin is be there when people are clearly abusing the powers they have and then provoking the system and heightening this level of tension in the country. Look, I'm receiving messages from people who are worried. Some even think Ghana is at the brink of war.
Wow.
That is the level of fright among ordinary Ghanaians. Can you imagine the signal we are sending to the investment community? Can you imagine the signal we are sending to the diplomatic community? And when did this all start? Say, Ghana, in democracy since 1992. Look, we have had general elections, at least, if anything at all. Every 8 years, there has been a change in government since 1992. Now, Minjin say we have reached this level before. And Obi Baby say, what has caused this? Is it this government which is bent on doing whatever it wants? And now, is it an institution of state which has allowed itself to be manipulated to bring us this far? It is the question. Mijidi say people are monitoring this across the globe. It is a blot on Ghana's image, and it will go down in history as one of the worst at the time of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Baumia Omo Aban, because a ferry say you are not consistent what to anamon bi sas anamon na yetu na ene de wo say anamon na metu no enra no enyemra enti wanfa emra anye djuma nemum ene de wo de mra eye djuma nti wo ba begina memanim aka kire me say enra no na wo wadwen na da ba bi ene de wadwen abefie enti minji wundi
enra de no so na ebotiawo
yes
enam say na ebotiawo nti no enam say na edibu awo nti one kasa
look I sometimes I stop short of using very strong words enra decision I would take decision no emma wow because you had the majority you had the speaker of parliament from your side and then you were taking a decision against one of your own members and you took that decision because who say emra and then the same thing is being done and I will say enye no kre enunti makosa sa party for ebegu so mmegina mechi so we party ni na would depending bi echi na sa penny no I say na adwen no kwana wodi na echi a na won so wo problem but me gidi say those who continuously pretend to be sitting on the fence assuming that the ekoso no omoni end as omunhu the ekoso no they should know say gradually send enkofo eka no ebeboba ne wanhwe ne ye a na e wo send etie
and aboboba me pese utie yedua Parker Wilson in fact who back it up Parker Wilson you ekomobia one of the members of parliament dey here titiri de fa ban ni nkofo bia omuni tumi bia wa ban mo ye mo post bia wa ban mo nenso mo hye wo no ma ase di o man ko oseye mu me pese utie say interview ye de be reconcile to ni ye ko so sabre na maje wa dwenkyere e wo ho ye tie your friend say if I remember John Boy di no so but Subi MP Honorable Eugene Boachientwi no ne Parker Wilson edin komo oba abrante ni gabi otre dako obodi di impra dodo ena na Parker kasa na papa e woni post o se woni post woni boni a wadi aban ene boni a wadi oman wo de tie no
would you advise Baumia and also message sermon say kwaso ka say ni jejire so monko for be kwama ne ba no ha but would you be able to say emphatically say these people should not come near Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Kenny Gabia one they say they should be blamed for this
Gabi crowd on want to them to say quit domestic politics
and they say kasa
it will no abon kon so the kon mo bonity so no aso onye bi obi mpam no ono ahu say e bi no ko ran koye a lot of people are highly disappointed I'm telling you
in Gabi
no ndo e hwan I mean you can't in MPP and they are buying now so Gabi e hwan Gabi where to Magabi Musa na say Musa say be poso Gabi obi anto Magabi who is Gabi
but also a powerful
no powerful I say on the back
man but very powerful I mean that's the point
I say been show Rollins by any awo
okay
na yen na mo kuma so mo kan say o mo see ekuru ebejo Bibia was manufacturing date no expiry date
right
MPP need beer from the bottom of their heart because yes 75 if you got appointments we look for we fiaba we go Oxford we go
at Gabriel appointment
the found
most of the appointment I go for the Gabriel I enter about man
masa and I make a
do appointment on the mouth
be there say
now must see a direct question about
na me party ni one enemy Ghana so MPP ni and go for be and wear from I don't want to mention names here but let me catch you say sango for you be na Gabi the appointment man yes and you so the para
I see
you so the pass how
I see
me say o ka no more court yes I'm going in court kwan no more court I go say jage some so nim dey court na yes some Ghana for say Football party go can be the na go jina court
yeah
yes mo obi ankasa eh ehunhuna na mo de bagana ha ehunhuna bullying intimidation but some de bagana ha na Rollins go to me Rollins go do tuba to me eh ko fo bi nyina ye o na be mo party o party en ko fo ko detention ko exile na ko fo adwuma sei ko fo busu atete apansa because of this party moja party o
MTB ba me hwe ye na wa fa Kenny Gabi entwa ne ho nchia
me say no ye hu ya se be ka hye no na se be che
to no aso
Eric Zwati wa kan be si point na wo make no say huna entrenebo ye de oshubo ewura man mu on the why specific wabobɔ din akyerɛ efutuo bi a wotu ye ɛne anamotu ɛkɔ so ɛne baabi adi abedru wabɔ gabi din.
Now that has been the modus operandi. Say won ka ho na wo kasa bebre a ye be intimidate you. Wo ye business na ekoba ne say won normal ye e kyerɛ sɛ bia I opposition when ni je de omo ye no ho a GRA, SNIT, name them, they will come after you. That is the fact. A lot of people are not speaking in Ghana not because they are afraid. They are on the quiet expressing their disappointment in Abanwe.
Wow.
Because Osrose Okokasa, the BNBB.
Wow.
Media personnel, very few are bold enough. What would you mean? Wa Ukofia Debia Usro.
Absolutely.
And the Debia Bompire say, Ochana, Obim Bediwechi. Menam way, minim say, men Fuyam from Subia, Mekama dream. And I mean, so China Bibi Yamia, but the man yame, but Bibian so into me and yame, because Krami free mono, O Yami Bibia, Obibe Duechi in spirit. I'm telling you, Menam Hokwa, but men bomb also a buying, Yamin a bombing who buying, but me busuya for or more money in Kosa. And the Omokano, it is a reflection of this so called Achem mafia that came up some time ago. It is an open secret, say, and Kofobi. Family and friends and to shall akufo aban enkofo a ya for mujuma ebusuafo dodona na fa juicy positions ko ewie ya omunim say kwan bia so moko position no they are finding a way to give retirement packages for people to find time to retire kwesi amakwata wo hin home wo baby within the next 7-8 months omubeko position no na wa settle no ho dwene wo baby kenoforiata wo hin Asante bedi etu wo hin almost your yare but me fan say it is part of a strategy to get some key people Ghanaians know will be answering questions and they say MP way ka se mo hwe ne nkomodie numa when me say odi yaw he's talking out of pain he's talking out of frustration he's speaking out of something that has reached its peak and Obibeka say enough is enough.
Why a party new?
Yes.
And what Kazasa?
And Wosha Samna Okana, he was speaking from an authoritative perspective. Onim dia Oka. And Dubebinu or Pose Kakra.
Yes.
And if you study emotional intelligence, I will say, Okasana say, he should just give himself one breath or two to just space. Otherwise, Obeke Bibi. But Nina Kusi say, he is a reflection of MPP Foa. Omunim say, the MPP they knew Akufo-Addo and Baumia as say no until Munya MPP will go into opposition and then tomorrow they can take back their party and reshape it for the better. Enti no ka say adi rua ejo miya asantini nemum at least I speak very good fancy adza obo huru biara obo drube bia obedwe so dwa no chere da ebo hu level enti moro kodo no oyensama Ghana fu nyim dedo onya de sronko nemum se nyipa owom obosu ma no okansama yenyim de orokodo no bo edu chere na ne yehu de ade no tata difo beka de wa pascal
now what the total happen marking the leadership or providing sabreya boabe ne be boa political party ya your friend MPP aka kakra bi dodo na post ahodo na susu say obeko opposition boabe ne be boa political party wono so why na green say said ye city bia no meye de me bia medi nkunim e wa bato nim sa leadership ya wo provide tintin me mo bi nka bi asame de patapa na ewuram speaker kakra bo a enye de speaker kan na me pesa metie court de no sa leadership no boabe ne be boa party no
emwa party no megidi say oseche mensa bonsu will be sitting somewhere observing ono so abaye ne de na normal bia wa ye no amanfo ani anje ho but megidi say being a leadership a member of a leadership in parliament and leading a caucus no comes with some responsibility edu baby a sa leadership role in terms of normal awobeye no and na be ma sa obuo na amanfo de be ma no ye de be ma but ni nyina ko gina say it's a mindset onim say enkofo bi wo baby a omota mechi enti him say me yusu buga ombaba na ya ba dane normal e de tia me
that's right
because until me kasa ya no me say whatever he was saying yesterday, so oh, as for them, they will go, and if there's chaos, they will walk out, and so on. I can't trust them. It is like all cultures say jinaha. Nemum hana osi jinano. Onim dia oh yeah or the befa wichi. That is exactly what is happening. That's what is happening. And to share all the things that have happened in Parliament as we speak, this 8th Parliament, it's been a combination of machinations just to outwit the NDC. Obekaya, there was a time NDC forecast said now omu court. AD one of their members say they were quickly putting themselves together to come and pass a bill, and they had to quickly come to the chamber. So that has been the modus operandi. And they are not on prayer. It's exposing what Alex Apenyo-Makin is telling me. So who do I trust? I don't trust any of them. That's what my position is.
Okay, Eric. So what do you want? You mess up on China atwa. Your coverage no so kai say ya da so gina mrache bedwafie enche bia no omode omudwumade no behhehye so sabre ya ka say mrache bedwafo no enya akwenya omawura chamber no safa video no che wa bra ye ready na ye ne Piwak natural health edi nkomo fa ye chamber no video no to so ne hwe ne akoso in the last few minutes yama ye mrache bedwafo no akwenya mo ma bewuram na ye tena bia no se de sitie no ba bia ye dom kase afa no Honorable Dr. Kasiel Atufosen, one ne nuanum akwatena. Ena yamane boni or therefore kwesi beche, eche mudi actually say MPP afano so inse so mbekwa akwatena don kuma afano no. Omudi oma yo madwen say baby ano mo tene ho ano mo ba betena. Eno mo betena tena Atufosen mo nchanya. Womo ni womo edi nkomo na de akwaso in the last few minutes eno no sanso na e wo so wunu say anodom bre wodi ka wura mu wabra yema akwanya say amanfo betima akwa chamber ho no wono so de na titafo abegu mrase bedwafie enye baabi omudi omudwuma sabre ba baabi akane no na omudi omudwuma eno de na titafo abegu ho eno so eyade akoso in the last few minutes na enche bia no so yebesa ko back to Parliament na de akoso bia no yetimi ede achoba sabre yenye bra na yemawura Piwak natural health na yene Dr. Prince Nelson Mototi eni nkomon fa drosro nkubia wapomuden nti wuhia wahoade a wuhia nti wuhia sadabe ya obenya hoto enti wuhia eye 3p garlic mixer 3p garlic mixer. Dr. Prince Nelson Mototi yemo ache wakwa ba bibi aboko de na ede wani ma ya sidie odi ani gisemi na mo ho.
Oh, it's interesting
times indeed. Anyway, ede na ekoso majority side no ewo eye 3p ni mo de na ekoso
I don't pay much Chagana for na match TVXYZ after for ni power team for nyina na Piwak anopen so de de ma e wapomodin hu nkomodi na na anopen so ye de ebro ama bibi biara etimi awipe etimi de ama Piwak wunyate yen campaign na wahu say ye de apomodin pa na yesom wo ama ya pomodin etimi awipe etimi edi ama ye kwan pa na yasom ye man Ghana say ye boa ye manfo apomodin etimi awipe yen nam yen so a ye ka Ghana bibidro a enei yan fankeja na yanwa ye ka one of the unique and best natural medicine o man Ghana ye discover ye boa adasa pem ema yaresa ewie peye okromade na watnya hu say 3p garlic mixture 3p garlic mixture enei Piwak for the badwaman so a ye de boam pem ema yaresa mapa etmi awie peye across the country baby wo hwe ye biara anano pay baby wo gina wutie bia no na watnya hu say with 3p garlic mixture na what ho asema na say wonti ho asema na edikan a wo hwe anase wutie no na watnya hu say ampa Piwak for and edi edopay asmo aboa wapomodin etimi awie peye etimi ediamo papa sister bra ye kwa ye bi eyadan nipadua no how no marketing kiti beba mu a ebema nipadua no ago eni ntinya dan nyina ye bo dawro na yahwe kwan pa ye betimi didi ye de ye nyina no ye nyanu no papa ko nipadua no etimi ye fi ne srade de wo didi de wo home de wo nom ye dan a edi fi ekonimu odi no bibire konimu a ebetimi di how etimi edi abroyem eni nti na Piwak ehunu saa kwan pa no so ena di nyanu no vitamins minerals a ebetimi asiesie nipadua no eno ena nam so a 3p garlic mixture 3p garlic mixture best and alternative natural medicine papa at the somwo aboa ma adasa apomuden etimi ewie peye etimi edi ama wo no kwasem no say ye de 3p garlic mixture bedwa manso ye hwe nkofo hodo bi ma yare akeka won nanka wo ya da yare mpa so but eduro yetimi abom nipa pem na sorry ene edi adance ye ma all because of this natural medicine ene aboa ama nipa dodo na anya yaresa eyawa wote
Power FM
ewo wachi eyawa wote o nipa duam titu pa waposo ukofodwe usisi unan sister bra papa de bia meka se emoja ewo nipa mu no entimi eniafo sane yi a edi wo haw ene no market nkete ebeto wo nipa dua so akoma na den yemu na chiche moja na akoma no enya sintoni wo haw bia na kire se moja atwasa akoma de kono enya kwan emfa nkop fat particles
Power FM
emglos enoma bia eye bibia ye wosi akwan bia ba intini mu a ema akoma na dwuma ntimi nwie peye ede na ebetimi de yi etese atade ye fin wanya nsuo na wanya nsame na wuntimi nsi ma ne nyeye saa na nipedua no tie enti etwase yenya enwani no bi ebekọ nipedua no mu na etimi detoxify and etimi clear the system ama moja etimi asane ye saa nimdeɛ na enam so a nokware yadura yɛde badwa man so nsuo a wo hunu to ema mewuso nyina no nye nsuo ɛyɛ vitamin C a yatwetwe a yɛdi enwani no abom bedese adasa Ghana ya beji anom esiesie ni pedua no ama ya pomodin enti enei sade wudie wakutu ofie wo pe bofre that natural na onyankopɔ de mai eno na piwafo ya twetwen enei ya de bom pem adasa Ghana #1 organic drugs enei 3p garlic mixture ya mfankeja ya natural na ya twetwen ade small aboa enti se wote yaw power woni peduam na wontimi enna papa mame adwumadinti abrante adwumadinti wote yaw pa nenam so wobedu fia wontimi enna wotokete so na horoche saa pre saa amade achen we mesra wa piwak sem nya 3p garlic mixture 3p garlic mixture edwe bebo ma moja mapa etimi asane ama sister wo sorry out me say ampa was sorry the next day anya wodin foforo atua woduma pa etwa se wukọ na ukodi ma bibi biara ntimi wie peye ntimi mfamam se wo wodan esum bi se wo bota ebi si woni so a na kai hunu se wapom din enei ai krowi ejina woda achen a wo hwe no na se want menya pom din pa enipa koi enipa pri enipa di ahoden wa ntimi nkobi stout ya se enti apom din mapa enei yahwehwe aboama adasa wiase Ghana eno matimi akoe enti piwak se wo mojaboso hypertension high blood pressure yare atete wa onum yadura 15 minutes woduro bia wo bia mojaboso wakoma na ebo no eni subire na wo so no sister wo hona ho ya basa bra yare ya ba wonum adu ache me fede pen wanu ma mlodi pen wanu ma piwak se nya 3p garlic mixture support akoma no high blood pressure normal betimi awie pa pa etimi adi amount edi 3p bayi abom pem the pacha wo de nesi chiare ana 3p garlic mixture amount the best resource ama pancreas na produce enough insulin regulated nyane a wudie ma wapomuden mapa entimi nwie pa ya no 3p garlic mixture ya the so na no pay ama wapomuden entimi awie kan hunu se wo wura pharmacy herbal shops across the country na wakoto wo to de papa de organic de natural de ahoto so ni da so mapa ewom 3p garlic mixture wogina ho a otimi se ampa wapomuden esipi esita na Ghana forma de piwa kana no pay mixture kan nyina na sem ye do 3p garlic mixture piwa sem yen ye de no kwarodie nya misiro e catch all sem oba se bosum so na obosumi akontuo entimi enwie peye emfama na wote yaw pa edu baby wo hotimi se emoja ntimi emma papa ana se ebabo so a mineral na piwa sem nya 3p garlic mixture 3p garlic mixture adopay bebo wa hoto ni da so mapa anopay na yede emma piwa anopay enchebe de manu ba besi de mixture wo nyina na se a sunset 3p garlic mixture ye kada hoto so ni da so wo munti na no pay yadi edoi esom Ghana abo ama Ghana for apomuden etimi ewie peye menim yare ABC bi hawo piwak de kan say nya 3p inti shuwas me bi hawo nya 3p garlic mixture kese bia waye nya 3p garlic mixture ene uko pharmacy heba so no ko to ye duru ya wo hwe ye box yi sa 3p no ye box wo dem safa so a eye wrewre na wo hwe ha na wo say ye logo bi wo ha ya chance de bi wo ha aha eye shen emu no ya hwe piwak natural health eshim piwak natural health uko na uko to fa woni hwe ho ye se uko na obi atwa bibia tuma na say fake out trader that we say ehon ebe piwak natural water piwak natural water and say edro no ni ti say no aha na wode won sa wore wode won sa etete won say aha say bibi boni a wode say wode won sa kan say na eyi ni nyina ya kwan pa wo be hwe say wodro na woto no obi amfa bibi boni ahye won sa e bia na wo tamale na wo hwe ofa kodwo heba e wo tamale taxi rank meka e electromat ncha wo 3p garlic mixture ho na wo wa Mumuni away enterprise obenya 3p garlic mixture ewo ho ewo cathedral obenya bi ho na no makoye na wo kumase a Dani Heba Colinak na Chris K and so obenya 3p garlic mixture takwa my joy market circle na mensa market circle and so ewo takwa de na search as ofie kuma na udu ho a Albert Sam ewo ho obenya 3p garlic mixture nko kodi ni mantem Isaac and say Hillside Pharmacy na udu ko fodua Gapson Pharmacy what to tell to say Benno Pharmacy a Shaman Ekus Pharmacy or na wodu community 5 Little George pay view up and round about her and so we 3p garlic and pay your numbers I'll bet your friend or your 3p garlic mix channel 0248 928824 0248 928824 and I say 020 100 another 0021 020 100 another 0021 3p garlic mixture or say a naturally organic yaribia suru
yaribia suru paddock na otwe sene ya be say che benya brani adi nkomo pa basa brani mracho bedwa fie ye kwaso ho no ene ye de bram live. In the last minute, no near Yahoo, our Rasha Bedford said, "Ya be a pronoun, I'm Rasha Bedford, I'm on my betrance. Dom Cassiano Aquatina, a fan, I was on Mokotana. Now, Dom Kumano Zobe from Mumu. I'm a Bia, I was said Dom Kumano Etanano. You say, what you share, Obiante, Aquaniano so. Election Powerhouse in here, Power 97.9, and a TV XYZ. Because what the feeling the cause of Nasabe Fie. Because on the video no. Oba Facebook Live Part 979 Obohunu TV XYZ Ghana. Who share what TV this one? A year majority side no. I want them Nasabe following in a quarter. We have a year NDC for the baby omotina, MPP for the omo abe from and omunina at majority side or the speaker Becca and a better say NDC Becca baby omo one a year majority side or and also about minority the speaker Becca and a better. XYZ Broadcasting Limited, our election powerhouse, Power FM, TV XYZ. Then you know, you can't bomb and not pay your day live coverage in Ebro. Well, let's be able to call there for bed, but that's I don't know. Yamra Fiana, Yanton, 1, 2, Normabi, Nafe, Yetimi, Abu Ramrasabe, Honorable year time member of Parliament, Honorable Sulemana, or Hadada, Obatin Kansana, Wakom Rasabe. Any Nianamakotas and Edumediano, Asas, Basabri, Dr. Akiwa, na Dr. Akia Bahedie, yet is any that's when you know, or one hour. And when you know but what project to me be at the Amoma, Omudi, Jumasron, and when it does so, Heba. Doc Aquaba.
Yaija.
ɛde nkɔmɔ na wɔma yɛ no pay
de di kan yɛ de nkyie mu odin yɛ de ma power 97.9 ne TV XYZ etiefo nyina ne ahwɛfo nyina yɛsi onyankopɔn enka obi bia ho na yɛbɛtena ha munim yɛ dada ɛyɛ enidaso wɔ herbal clinic enidaso wɔ herbal clinic de bia me kapola ambantem ɛso yɛsen edikanfoɔ mesrɛw munim yɛ dada ɛyɛ obi bisa sɛ doctor yɛnim sɛ ɛba na eni di a moyɛ expert but I say wonka ada yade yɛ ni bi no me pa ocho eni no esan say eni ni yade yɛ wohia papa no ɛna eni so yade yɛ wohia adasani bi ani nti no enti na ɛyɛ a yɛsi hɔ papa na say yɛta edi hɔ enkomo papa no mesrɛ obi epese otike mu opese osi ɛyɛ 0559 90 1234 0559 901234. Me mami a wutie me papa a wutie me. When say we ni no nansen a start ye wusi. Unya sugar nansen a diagnosis say when your sugar pe we ni no a start ye wusi me pa cho. To anamobra enida so wo herbal clinic what na yen hwe sugar no emfa ma wo. Esan say sugar ade asabi etimi ema weni onipa eni echo off. Me mami a wutie me papa a wutie me nua ba a wutie me nua ba ma bi a wutie me. When say since I catch it say sabi o diabetes no aye serious no weni no so kwa na ekosoro wodi ndro eguso na so demo a wodi guso no na weni no say ya na say ma me papa me pa ocho entina se emasade we emba mbedi wunya esan se enidaso wo edema wate enidaso wo edema enuti ena elder doctor owusu akakofa enidaso wo herbal clinic ede aba se ambehwe obi biara nani wachin a onya ayaresa mesraw sa wodi anu edum na ebia enya enfiansia no yase fabedan enidaso wo herbal clinic fabedan enidaso wo herbal clinic hwe yase ehiawa enwu esan se friend said ye wewu nko na ade ehia no anu nti na wo se wo ba enidaso wo herbal clinic sa wo de no high pressure we ne so ayo wusi untimi ehu ade yie wo ben ade na ansa we hu obi wo kra sabi oben ade na ontimi ehu ni yie owakọji lens kra na ohye no kra no still tisa austrani eni no ansa wetimi aba be hu ade yie me pa ocho bia ba ko pe na wo se wo di weni kire ye Tabora Wolako junction bia ye frɛ no Wolako junction mesrew clinic ni din eye enidaso wo herbal clinic enidaso wo herbal clinic aha eho na wo be hu ye Kumasi ye wo kwada so estate park no enchen wa me kire brother man opposite wa kwada so estate park no wa na obehu ye na takrade your Archbishop Porter Girls numbers no is 0559 90 1234 0559 90 1234 Aniti minua bema wutie mi minua ba wutie mi a weni no akwaye kranko no fabra enidaso wo herbal clinic enne misraw ye beka infection different types of infection a etimi affect onipa wa honam akwa me pauto infection ade bia sabi emma no enne me be emphasize most on emma no emma friends and creatures bia etimi attract infections number 1 esan say Bema sabi bema no entimi den say infection betimi ewrem ati say bia wakoye bibi etimi akọ ade na akonimu ansa wenya but oba o use sabi public friends saying toilet yane bia na say the amansan no or ye easily to attract infection. Now some of the infections esan say omoye micro friends and organisms and into no umfa weni enye den ehu into your call ya no the tissue and paper so na watena so mesraw eso na e bia wo the tissue to clean so na inside no so and because infections and monitor me ekọ umu direct to bon say na wenya white obeko akọ na abeda ne chronic white na ekofa problem e dia ba mesraw say wenya bia mesraw bomodin anafa weni kire enidaso wo herbal clinic obebi so wo ho a onya white na ne dia obetiti obekire ho saa bu se eyi nka na nsufita egu no eba ne saa sabi ontimi enko anase ontimi enyi ne pant enfan san abonti
it's the crack say
aha enu ti ne crack ne say wodi weni ebe kire enidaso herbal clinic bema wenya infection a ama wo bema afon aye kete eba ne sa bra enidaso herbal clinic na beji eduro 90 mi enkum infections no ne moa no na wususu timi esoso ede wo ho me pa tro se wo pe enidaso herbal clinic a enidaso herbal clinic e wo Tabora wo Lako junction Tabora wo Lako junction ena Kumase ya wo Kwadaso estate park Kwadaso estate park takrade your Archbishop Porter girls mesra wo ye adwuma efiti edwada ekope memene da anopa no nsia ekosi enimbre no num numbers a ubetimi edi afreye ana ubenya ye wo so no mesra numbers no 0559 90 12 34 0559 90 12 34 mesra me ma a wutie me paucho fa weni ekire enidaso wo herbal clinic enidaso wo herbal clinic mesra nabra na fa wo yade efa diabetes ne ehun keka wo nyina fabra na ye ma wunduro esanse se unya diabetes na affect weni a me paucho se ye treat diabetes ma na nkwa wodi weni bechin se den we den weni beko into buy a why you treat both weni no any diabetes ni nyina at a time so that ni nyina betimi afi wo so ema why free what I say anything no ena ama ye dance ana say ye dem fuwa no anything fa weni e kire enidaso wo herbal clinic enidaso wo herbal clinic me say Accra ha mi kire ye kire kwan biom Accra ha ye wo Tabora bia a friend wo Lako junction Tabora bia a friend wo Lako junction ena Kumase ye wo Kwadaso estate park no enchen wa Kwadaso estate park no me che Kwadaso kwan no estate park no enchen na obehu takrade ye wo Archbishop Porter girls bia a friend Port Quarters ena obehu enidaso herbal clinic o ba na wo yira anasa upe nchiremu bia bomodi ana friend numbers no me say numbers no 0559 90 12 34 0559 90 12 34 me pa to Ghana phone nyina embo shi embra enidaso herbal clinic na ha eho ena ye ayare safie weni ebehu ade na nyankopon ya adoma woso weni na efura no ebete ema woso wadi adanse bra Kwame yeda ase wa mai akwenya ema yetimi edi abekasa
wa DwaboAse ni part 97.9 and a TV XYZ mumu bebre messages about Daniel T as a way so betwem we ebetwem akọ Isaac Mensa say JM His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mesrewa mema NDC achitafo no enkom rashe bedwafio na wo de enkunimdie ne de when Lydia account say, does he think that his son in medical school and daughter at the law school are above the law? He should give us a break. Up on your mark and crowd with your bodo. Lydia come a message or the no. Lydia come crowd you say, or something shame on another pray. Where were you go see a gap? Edmond Adi say, so if your son is in a medical school and your daughter too is in a law school, so what? Yanya day. Me and my emrani nyejuma. Me and my democracy no nyejuma. Sheikh Alphonse Senior say the security is MPP. Bagby must change all of them, including the clerks. They are all party boys and girls. Omonama okui ayam mre ediama MPP for no. Omo ye bibia de diabo omo. Agawe de sunesu eyedan ena marshals motina ho. Na mama kwan emma MPP atitafo ekwogu mrase bedwafie sei we a message free Sheikh Alphonse Senior ho Daniel Dudia was say what try every do hakata and a George and say Sentinel ajibebia majority Sentinel ajibebia kwasi George was say emra mienu Ghana fo bebre or say no in fact was say atemu mienu Ghana fo bebre atemu no ba ku ye de free Supreme Court and a ba ko so ye de free Parliament. Why dear any bejina?
ɛno ne nkɔmɔ a yɛdi ɛna no pɛ ɛwɔ DwaboAse power 97.9 afei so TV XY ɛne kyɛ bia yɛbɛkɔ mmarahyɛbadwa fie na yɛbɛhyɛ ase afiri fie a ne yɛwura mmarahyɛbadwa fie ankasa na ɛhɔ na yɛnua ɔdɛɛfoɔ Kwasi Bɛɛkye ebutu ɔman na ɛkyɛ bia no ɔbɛbɔ yɛ amaneɛ wɔ nea yɛgu so a yɛhunu ɛwɔ mmarahyɛbadwa fie hɔ but ɛkyɛ bia no medan na di kyerɛ mo wabrɛ yɛde video no ɛto screen no so na mama honorable Adama Suleiman Akwaba member of parliament ma de hyɛ wɔ tan ɛmpɛso so wode to screen no so from Mississippi na amanfoɔ hwɛ wohwɛ a atenaseɛ na mu a ne ɛwɔ no mmarahyɛbadwafoɔ no atena ase na ɛnɛ deɛ honorable wɔdeɛ ɛnte sɛ sɛdeɛ ɛsi hunu no no ɛfa no a ɛyɛ dɔm kɛseɛ afa no ɛhɔ na mmarahyɛbadwafoɔ no nyinaa kɔtena titiriw dɔm kɛseɛ saa berɛ yi ɛyɛ NDC afa no wɔn na di ka kɔtena hɔ ɛna wɔn nuanom a ɛwɔ NPP afa no so abɛka wɔn nti wohwɛ baabi a mpanimfoɔ paa no wɔ no a ɛhɔ no abɔ apee so ama atra ɔho wohwɛ ano dɔmpere a wɔkɔgye nkonnwa yellow ni bi akɔtena so a ɔno no nso abɛka honorable Dr. Kasela to force ho ɛwɔ dɔm kɛseɛ no afa honorable yɛmo akye mo akɔ na bibia bɔkɔ deɛ
ne jose menua bibia bɔkɔ
mena mehunu sɛ nyɛ bɔkɔ saa wana sɛ wohwɛ de wɔ akyitaafoɔ yi aba ɛwɔ mmarahyɛbadwa fie ɔmɛka MPP akyitaafoɔ yi de wɔ ɔm aba ɛne kwan a bambɔfoɔ no ma ho kwan ma honorable friend saying anɔdɔmprɛ ɛtumi kɔwura chamber hɔ wabrɛ a yɛnya amaamɔberɛ sɛ mobɛtumi akɔwura hɔ ya wogyiri sɛ biribia bɛkɔ yie nɛ
me nua meda ase mekyerɛ watiefoɔ ne wahwɛfoɔ megye di sɛ ɛnyɔma a ɛsi nnɛ yi na ɛsi wɔ naano ɛne last week nyinaa ɛkyerɛ the state of your democracy na ɛkae me mmerɛ bi yɛwura bi a ɔkaa sɛ ɔntimi nna sɛ Nana Akufo-Addo bɛyɛ president a tension a ɛwɔ ɔman wei mu gidigidi a ɛne nnwoma a ɛkɔ so no ɛkyerɛ the personality nipa no a ɔdi ɔman n'anim no na
wow
ɛkyerɛ clearly
deɛ ɛkɔ so yi
deɛ ɛkɔ so nyinaa no
ɛkyerɛ the personality
of
the ɔdi
ɔman no so no
wow
ɔyɛ too warlike ntɔkwasɛm ɛne gidigidisɛm ɛyɛ ne dɛ sɛ nkɔmampanin bi a wɔyɛ n'adwene sɛ ɔpɛ peace ɔpɛ asomdwoeɛ ɛwɔ ɔman no mu a nka ne ɛsi yie nka sɛ ɔwɔ ɔman no mu nka wɔteki ɛnyɔma wɔteki steps bi a nka ne yɛhu nnɛ yi nka yɛhu nnɛ ɛfiri sɛ signal wei ne yɛkɔ so yi obiara hu sɛ ɛfiri efieda ɛbɛsi ɛnora dwoada ɛbɛsi nnɛ ne ɛsi ɛbɛsi enti ɛkyerɛ sɛ biribiara ni hɔ a ɔpanin biara ni hɔ a yɛde ɔman wei ahyɛ ne nsa a obetumi de nansi pɔn aka sɛ mahu sɛ wei na ɛba ɛno nti ma memfa me nansi fam na yɛnyɛ nnwoma bi a ɛde nnwoma bɛba
na ɛno no bɛyɛ nnwoma bɛyi ɛno no ɛnkɔyɛ sɛ nea mo pɛ no no ɔbɛtia na because ɔmo so adwene yɛ ɔmo sɛ court no ɔmo kɔɔyɛ no ɛne atɛbuo no a ɔmanya no ɛno no boa ma nkɔmmɔ no kɔ n'anim
ɔmampanin papa biara ni hɔ bɛma ɔmo akɔ court ɔmo kɔɔyɛ no ɔmampanin papa biara ni hɔ a ɔpa asomdwoeɛ a ɔbɔ ɔmo akɔ na Supreme Court biara ni hɔ a ɔpa asomdwoeɛ a ɔde saa ruling no bɛba ɛno nti a mese neɛ asisi n'ano no nyinaa no ɛnyɛ meeting anka ɔbɛyɛ nko a nka the first thing is to have sɛ speaker ma ruling no wieɛ no let cooler heads prevail ɛma kɔma ɛntɔ din at least ɛma mmerɛ bi mfa so but you see even before a speaker ma ruling no nobody can adwane akɔ Supreme Court trying to injunct ade a enya nsiye and eventually esiye no ade kyen ya Supreme Court came out with sa ex-party motion or granting injunction no enti clearly no Nana Akufo-Addo ope oman no and ekoso no ne ope parliament no and ekoso no but there have always been an attempt to control three arms of government. He doesn't believe in democracy. Democracy ade ema democracy pa no eye the three independent arm of God, separation of powers. And the man democracy.
Na hono independence no. Saying the city, omo di omo ho sani awusi kan ya na. Say mmrasebedwa fie no, ono no de no ho ye na adwuma nko. We nso ye na adwuma nko.
Separation of powers ne tie ne say three arms no nyina ye independent of each other. Sani ebe ya democracy, one we say three version of democracy can be. actually democracy na ɔsɛ ɛma obiara kwan ma otimi kyerɛ na adwen ɛnsa sɛ ne nipa baako bɛka ɛne ɔman ni nyinaa yɛdi akyire ɛba saa ɛyɛ dictatorship nti to avoid dictatorship no yɛn create 3 separate arms na obiara nkyɛke ne ho we kyɛke wei parliament ɛnne ne ho sɛ ɔyɛ ne ɔpɛ parliament nyɔma ɔbɛyɛ nyina wɔsɛ gyina constitution no so. That's right. Supreme Court any court judiciary entimi nya ne ɔmo pɛ ne ɔmo bɛyɛ bia wɔsɛ gyina constitution no so ɛna executive arm so nti nya ne ɔmo pɛ enti constitution no akyekyere ne sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ a executive no hwɛ legislature so no president no ɛhwɛ legislature so no na legislature nso hwɛ judiciary so na judiciary enti intertwined akeka bom.
But in this case, you know, our point in a checks eba, our point in a checks and balance eba. In the case of Article 97, 1G and H, Speaker Jira so di ya know. Our point in a judiciary ebe wuram no ye ne bibi say wo check wo say be ya wunya bibi ebetia obi no fa wudie so.
Medasimenia. Article 97, 1G and H clear black and white. Speaker no responsibility. Ɛna parliament oba yɛ the document bibre na yɛ adwuma yɛ the constitution yɛ adwuma yɛ the standing orders yɛ adwuma yɛ the judicial pronouncement and reviews yɛ adwuma yɛ the other statutory laws a ɛwɔ ho nso yɛ adwuma enti speaker ne deɛ ane sɛ wohwɛ yɛ standing orders yɛ kura mi ya a lot of them have been copied verbatim from the constitution ɛno nti baabi yɛ standing orders no ɛne constitution bɔ abira no yɛfa constitution speaker ne deɛ ane sɛ ɔbɛhwɛ ne constitution no kan not the money ruling. Speaker na understanding of Article 97, 1, G and H. And say okroso carpet every party bako equal party fufra. I will see a you free parliament. And I say free independent equal party and our party equal independent say you free parliament. At the Supreme Court betima can say Speaker o understand no wrong. Yes, Supreme Court ye gitum say it here, finito. But on cancer, on to me, fata born to speakers to say, can ye him? Man, you were Juma. Yajuma need your moon to make us say, because Supreme Court and your headmaster and a parliament, a student. Supreme Court, your headmaster, a watchimota, parliament, a headmaster, a went to secondary school, or a headmaster, a one fancy pim. We are equal. Yenye obi ensho obi ase. That's right. And to mean can say speaker and say execution. To think say a S party way and your land litigation. An arm of government, parliament a arm of government. In fact, parliament and a Supreme Court budget. MOD juma. Say parliament and Supreme Court sika on yesika no akoya juma. Yeah. And also who say and say if you do no. Yankasa answer no. On the basis of that,
so for the speaker tray, edit social media no, at to screen us near Fanny Komokakra. Now, Minkah at Tiefone, as your force, a jar Richard Anamo, a jar Richard Anamo, other kinds, studio say, in fact, why spokesperson, Emma NDC Manu Kono on infrastructure, about Quine, Suku dying, I had a Sabia on summer, or no, NDC in Shisha, no, the Kafaono. On the Kasama NDC. But not the Yanuntino by. Said ye democracy, and then a month for say a damn quantanine. Sound common on a mayor show some no, a Jaquaba. Yeah, maybe I'm a fantastic. I will be mixing it all. Yeah, no, we'll be mixing it. That's right. You ever mix it, no, and a brofono. I feel you speak, no, you were trying to social media. Now, yen say, based on the what channel. Does it give an indication what they want to trim? I know na ebeba be ye nyina so wo nia ebesi wo brasha be dwafie because what say God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong beyond any single individual or institution. Honorable. At the end of speaker,
this is perfect. You see, speaker, obi antimi summarizing your mind ekoso of my room than this post. Look, since day one, me catch say checks and balances, any separation of power. Since day one, and now President Kufuado will make an attempt to say, or per se, me and Sunny in legislature, judiciary, anyway in offer. Offer me and Sunny oh yes sir na the speaker can ebam he wants to make himself more important than the constitution. Look, from day one okay say Emra President Kufuor omo ye brochure even without the election of the speaker normally Aaron Makoko edi na shame.
That's right.
Right on speaker Makoko edi na shame say on the speaker me wane ye nkoto aba. How can you defy democracy like this? Abraye nya nkoto aba no what the you speaker meanwhile you have no moral authority.
They no nyam from so.
Enyam from so eye boapaye because subsequent event chero say boapaye. E free hona ye ko speaker ye speaker no in the glare view of Ghana for nyina MP for Tema West e kofa paper wo hu say yakan back ben there e dawson or for paper ni bi orwe say na be ya be say democracy no eda no
Carlos
Ahenkra eda no omo de soldier for rule chamber
no crime.
In fact over democracy mo the chamber of parliament is sacrosanct the Jubilee House
Why kron
why your kron be democracy Jubilee House.
Wow.
And it's all the soldier for Jubilee chamber of parliament now we to democracy agu.
Wow.
It took somebody as mature as Bagbin and yet you go to democracy because say Bagbin decided say soldier for na ebe ura chamber hono he will have a go at them. It will bring the executive and the legislature into a coalition course. In fact enyoma bebresia senya Bagbin na speaker na me sure say democracy in Kentias.
Yeah.
So many events. Look, for the first time in our history, Honorable Adwoasafo was impersonated. At the time, when a minority are taking walkout because we were not in chamber, almost smuggle somebody in.
But I know no cray.
Minua.
Adansidie bi wo where church say.
Ampampa. Adansidie and a change so pictures na ba bonten no.
Yes.
Adansidie na change.
Because later on, Adwoasafo bamra so be fie. Ebe yi ni wedi say minie. Na no na emia na so emia.
Why would you honor Adwoasafo ne not honor Adwoasafo no begina ho no. Ye nyine nim say nya Adwoasafo no. But luckily for them because the minority had taken a walkout. You see it takes a leader all foresight and could see ne ebesi. Na wa stop nyoma. Say nya babia enkasa nyoma no sa de no etimi say parliament. Look, a lot of things asi. Ye nyina ne nim say obi obetena akonwa no as speaker no. He acts with the responsibility ni nyoma as a speaker. For the first time in our history, second deputy speaker kwatena akonyam or no one kasa ma ruling say otena akonwa no mu a he has no vote or voice but no vote.
Yeah.
MPP court Supreme Court e rule Justice Abula Supreme Court rule say speaker no or representing constituency be into ultimate aba. E ba sa no parliament e change your standing orders to go with what the Supreme Court has said. Enti yan kasa Supreme Court dibi interpretation. Ne can say send the Justice Abula court to Supreme Court can say the deputy speakers or MPs can vote until the time test practice na omonto abano so omonto akonyon so omonto abano yen sesano parliament sesano. Okay, that is the check and balances me person me ende enu ti say na yesi so Supreme Court can say article 97A no article 97 1G and H interpretation in ruling na speaker Bagbin ma here no enye lawful en kan yesi o parliament in kensi the issue of parliament is because of the injunction motion. Supreme Court today parliament say they don't have that right to give the injunction.
So there's a board of contention where I say the speaker here, you know, na temu no the mind. Was it an interpretation? Say interpretation MPP for argument and say and yes speaker no when you say when say obey interpreti embra no na no ye judiciary no ne prerogative.
It was a ruling. The speaker said, "Send your tears here. His understanding. Send your no tears here. And no general so or the man ruling. And the Supreme Court today says speaker and tears here. No, you're wrong. They should give a ruling. They should give interpretation. Now we will go by the interpretation. But to say you cannot look at the reasons. The reasons are Supreme Court my say you be fundamental human rights. Two, the people were not heard. Yeah.
Law of natural justice.
Me Parliament I'm supposed to be there. Say me ni hone ye bibi na etia me. Na me say I will stand up and catch the eye of the speaker and make my point. Say speaker dia why ye etia me. Me dream say I was so tie me. These are my reasons. If you are not in parliament because one kasa unim say who defy mra no. Enu ntia na ye see ye no. And all the reasons are Supreme Court MI no. They are not tenable. Look, the last one that I'll talk about. Yeah. Any reason any document no mujina so. Omo they draft Hansard report.
Yeah.
And the general so
Yeah.
draft. Hansard yebe tenase na ye Hansard na the following day or the next week I was say you approve say Hansard not captured the actual things I can of parliament. Enti Hansard now mu use Supreme Court general so no. It's draft. It's not been approved by parliament.
Anya no ho na mo speaker query Urabo.
That is it. That is it.
The abosom people leaky.
Only key because say yeah city we are. The next sitting ebeba no. Ye Hansard no any which is official report, verbatim report. Any vote and proceedings to say a true rendition of what happened. Parliament never approval report. No? Why do you send that report to court? And which court, in its right composition, and never rely on a draft report that have not been approved to make a decision?
Interesting. Mamifa Ora Richard Anamo Emran Komonim, and then let me see how all these issues are play out. Said you see who for some Ghana democracy, is at a crossroads. Just this morning, another umbrella minority chief whip where Nadrian said one on the waba juman temti will rat chamber ho now wakotena baby or better. And of course this happened at the time speaker no through the deputy marshal what this statement better about say at 8 a.m. and Obama Kwame Minkah for nyina akotena say. And then another thing you should also know is another president supported ebegu baby and I'm not for no a year Juma say move about Accra International Conference Center. Who confused you but making.
Yes.
Move about Accra International Conference Center. So these are issues that play out in the last minute. Saying this he hit you. I mean, would you agree with those who suggest pension now bay and then said yeah chromasia who it was something that you bit avoid it.
Well, let me say a good morning to all your listeners, cherished listeners. You see, I think the Supreme Court, with the greatest respect to all of them, of course, I'm a lawyer myself, just created some artificial tension. I mean, this was absolutely avoidable, completely avoidable. The first question you ask yourself is, what was so urgent that you could not come by notice? What was it? Now, let's put it in the worst scenario, but God forbid, that you come today and then, all right, those 3 members of parliament,
4 actually,
4 members are unable to attend physically. What happens?
Yeah.
What happens? Not because they have been stopped by anybody, but they are unable to. In other words, if for any physical reason they are unable to attend. So, I mean, you carry out that sort of injunction, that's the law provides it. That is, if it is not redeemable. You know, if it's a situation that if you don't do it, what will happen cannot be reversed. But we're not in that state. There was no need for the Supreme Court to get themselves involved in that. No. In the very least, they should have just said, okay, we have received you, but let's come by notice. And then we'll hear you immediately. By now, the Supreme Court should have been sitting down maybe tomorrow next, you know, hearing the submission from the other side and taking a decision. You know, rather than going into this sort of thing and creating a panic. You know, yeah, as if without it, I mean, if they didn't do that and then for Parliament to reconvene on Tuesday with the majority still majority, because we have to remember, the Constitution did not say that the ruling government should always have majority in Parliament.
No. Wow.
No. That's not what the Constitution said. So do not make it so, you do not make it look like, look like in the absence of the majority being the ruling government, the government will fail. Not necessarily, no. There's nothing like that. I mean, the people vote for a president. They do not vote for a majority in parliament president. You know, so all those arguments that were made or submission made to the Supreme Court had no basis.
And let me just add this. Your marking the minority leader seemed to suggest that what happened in Parliament with regards to Speaker's ruling is just mischief on the side of the NDC to create chaos and frustrate government.
There was absolutely nothing mischievous about that. Absolutely. I mean, yesterday I heard, Atachian saying that the wrongs of the past should not be allowed to repeat. Whoever said that was wrong? No. And if you listen to the submission by the former Speaker of Parliament. What he said was that after December 7th, because remember, this Parliament will be there till January next year.
That's right.
So if after December 7th, they vote, and these people are still in government, and they are no longer, they're on the other side, what happens? What happens? That they have won the other seats. So you vote, and maybe one of them has moved to the MPP, and he has won his election.
So if I get you, Michael Quay's ruling was not faulty.
No,
there was nothing wrong.
No, absolutely, there was nothing wrong.
Wow.
That's why I'm looking at the fun. I think in the latter part of his submissions, he made it very clear that let's move it forward that by December 7th, after the election, then those who have changed from NDC to MPP or MPP to NDC, they win their seats. Come December 9th, 10th, 11th, until you now have people who have moved to the other side of the house sitting on the opposite side. That would be absurd. So the issue is, what did the framers of the Constitution consider it necessary for them to put these into consideration? No, as part of the Constitution. I think that our Supreme Court has failed, regrettably.
Well,
yes.
What are your expectations on what must play out today? I mean, going into proceedings, are you expecting that the Speaker will bow to the Supreme Court's ruling? Because some say that, look, what happened with regards to the Supreme Court was the Supreme Court just doing its job, which is interpreting the law. And some, especially those in the MPP, are suggesting that what the Speaker did was wrong, because what he did is tantamount to him interpreting the law, and that is not in his remit.
Well, I think all those arguments don't actually bring any, good thing to the table. I believe that probably in the interest of harmony, probably in the interest, the Speaker, well, that is one. If he had been served with the ruling, the written ruling of the Supreme Court, not because he heard it on radio or somebody has told him, but he has received the approved, written, signed ruling of the Supreme Court, and he has read it, then he might go to the Supreme Court, the Parliament, and Parliament will expected to sit as at the last of his ruling, because by that time he has not yet read to them the decision of the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
all others have heard. So it is only after the sitting of the Parliament, and that's why, if you remember, Honorable Ayarga said that. So it is then following what the Speaker addresses them on, probably saying that, okay, I've received this ruling, I've understood, I disagree with it. However, that is the ruling of our Supreme Court. Honorables, let's see how far we can go with this decision.
Interesting.
It is only after that if there's a swap, if there's a change, then we're going back. But until then, the NDC is in control.
Okay. Honorable, based on Yakuko Kwaswo name, and they said, yeah, we're sitting arrangement criteria. What I mean, so, remember Honorable Cletus Avoka, a video, so Safa will come back to a net Mrasabegafie, said, yeah, almost Atanase, Titru on the majority side. Woman, you know, go majority side. That is confusion in the offing.
Yeah, Another pray and the minority. Another pray and the minority are being lawless.
Wow.
They are being lawless because these standing orders and the rulings of the Supreme Court, like my senior brother says, until say Speaker, and even with the Supreme Court ruling, because Supreme Court cannot give the ruling outside. When they give the ruling must take effect inside the chamber.
That's right.
Until the Supreme Court, because the Oma ruling now, that ruling must be transmitted to the Speaker.
Yeah.
It's not like the Speaker will hear the ruling on air, or ever transmitted the ruling to the Speaker.
Yeah.
And the Speaker, no, as at last Thursday, no one declare 4 seats vacant. Automaticity by configuration, NDC is majority. And that NDC must sit on the right side of the Speaker.
Even in there.
Say a corner Speaker no say manya ex parte motion from Supreme Court. Or say we should stay. Stay. declaration of the 4 seats vacant. And until me ruling na me man na no. Ye the tabo ato so. Ye hold the ruling na. Na no actually say the 4 members of parliament are still members of parliament. It reverses the rule. So any NDC asan be minority. And a MPP abeye majority.
Basane besi.
No, I am telling you that is what should have happened. And the confusion na AC of parliament no. Near woman in a better and I'm person Mitchell say. I don't plan the minority no. They even define the Supreme Court.
Yes. Wow.
What they are doing is they even define the Supreme Court and define the ruling of the speaker.
So we do much it have when you know.
Yes.
Yeah, because the thing says that allow. It says the speaker should allow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until he has come to parliament and allows.
Yeah.
The previous ruling hold.
Yeah, the previous ruling hold. Look, and no more can say speaker a interpretation in your mouth. Look at order 18 of your standing orders. Or say vacancy other than the resignation of Article 97 1B 1B B to E G and H other than resignation if there's any vacancy you know Article 97 1A up to H how we bet me free parliament right. And the responsibility of the speaker look or see the speaker shall inform the house of the outcome of the occurrence of a vacancy of the seat of a member under clause 1 B to E G and H of Article 97 of the Constitution. The speaker responsibility say, say there's a vacancy. Why is there a vacancy? A talks about say why resigning. B say why be a speaker. To say why money be C. We're breaking the privileges of parliament. G and H say what cross the carpet from party A to independent. And H a party independent to a political party. And in the speaker's ruling, or no, Najumani say, Obe announce it to parliament the occurrence. And I did not just announce the filing of nominations.
Any notice of poll.
Any notice of poll, no, actually, no. And he just gave the occurrence of a vacancy.
But that occurrence, no, any notice of poll, no, enough grounding. Amobiaka say, and no crime, no. Omwa ye kasa form ono oma kire baby omugina meaning say yati omunka wo baby omugina they've been given a hearing. Yes. And we enough grounds.
It's enough grounds. Look, there's a political party act and go and look at the constitution of each of the political parties. Some more camera even in the MPP constitution you starting when we say obia obeye bibia ebe contrary to the party no no forfeit his membership of the party.
Wow.
Look, go to NDC, Article 42 of NDC Constitution. Anti-party conduct. Obiko independent. Why na country also a free party no? The declaration, the nomination forms. Nomination forms na you feel it as members of parliament, Edico Electoral Commission, you know. It is not an intent of action, a action by itself. A action you take because declaration is me gitum say me jina NDC dimu and eko contest election no. NDC pays my filing fees. NDC na nominate me. NDC na me filing me. I didn't pay filing fee. It was paid by the headquarters. Kobisa yewra Amenfi Central MP no. Yeah. Kobisa ne say ne filing fee no one etua ma no. E yo no one etua because it's independent. Kwachiaka. He's automatically left the NDC.
As you say Joanna Jan and a parliamentary candidate.
Yes. And you don't need somebody to come and write officially to you say my free party no. It flows automatically. It flows directly. But we hear evidence and they say also be a boni or breach parliamentary immunity and privileges. You need a committee and also no constitutional prescribe what needs to be done. But in the other instances, it is clear. Sabi obiwua. Do you need evidence to show that the person is off? You don't need that evidence.
I need that whole
clear.
Only
the parents across the carpet or another political party.
And you have declared that.
And you have declared some party for that declaration is done with the filing. With the filing on the electoral commission, any notice of poll now about Bontino.
Okay.
The framers of the constitution foresaw this happening.
Right. And that's why they put it in there.
And you see, there's an argument. Mangasabunia penny collectors avoka. Will make here and move from Mbrano about common sense. say commonsensically no adeɛ bi wɔ hɔ a sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛde yɛne hwɛ titiriw ɔne akɔ no a wɔde declare sɛ sɛsei no wɔnya running on the ticket of the political party but wɔkɔ independent no obisa asɛm bi wabra no wɔ make this argument no wode ɛyɛ sɛ ntie bio na yɛmfa ni nkɔmmɔ hwɛ adeɛ ɔma me.
The question is, those who are going independent, which party did they get letters to go and file? So, can a party file 2 candidates? No. The MPP had filed their party candidates with the Electoral Commission. NDC, we had equally done so. So, having filed for a different party, you cease to belong to that party. That brought you to this August House. Having filed as an independent candidate, you failed or you have ceased to belong to that party. That brought you here. Or to the group, you have betrayed the group that brought you here. And therefore, you don't belong to them again. And that is squarely caught by Article 97 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, having filed your nomination, let's be very frank, talk about common sense. Is the MPP or even we here saying that if we are going to have a caucus meeting to strategize on how to win the election, those who left our parties here and have filed as independent rep, we will invite them to that meeting? No. You will not invite them to that meeting. You will not invite them. Mr. Speaker, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is going around campaigning. Are we suggesting that the MP for Suhum and the MP for Cynthia Agona West are going around with him campaigning on what ticket? And what ticket? On what ticket? And similarly, the MP from our side in the Western North region, without common sense, that they are no more belonging to those parties. They have ceased
common sense na honorable Cletus Avoka ejira so erichire MPC omobobre. So is it that plain and simple, black and white? So why all this mingini nyama no may work way? If it is that plain and simple, I
think it's basically, as I said, it's basically the interference by the Supreme Court. You know,
interference.
Yeah, I think it's absolute interference. It was uncalled for. It was unnecessary for the Supreme Court to.
So they could have avoided it.
They could have avoided it.
How?
By just simply saying that we have received your dissent. Okay, however, come by notice. Okay, this is an ex parte application, which means that on the blind side of the NDC. So come by notice means that serve this one to the NDC.
Okay.
And then both of you come to us.
Okay.
You know, then we can look at it. Whether, you see, first, when you say interpretation, it means there is some kind of ambiguity.
Yeah.
There's some problem which can be interpreted in different ways. If you read all those statements there, there's nothing in that part of the Constitution that creates any ambiguity.
I think on 971
everything about the
tenure of office.
Yeah, there's no ambiguity there. There's nothing there that tells you that you should interpret it. Yeah, you should interpret it one way or the other. For which you should go to the Parliament. And I'm happy that the former CJ, said that look, it looks like our Supreme Court has become too predictable.
Wow.
Which is very, very sad. Very, very sad. Because
the former Attorney General.
Yeah, that's right. No, the former Chief Justice.
Chief Justice, okay.
Yes, the issue here is that there are several judgments of the same Supreme Court that has criticized the lower courts, where at times somebody just comes and I'm handling a case at the High Court, and for which there's need for interpretation, then they rush into the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has held that where there is no real issue about interpretation, don't bring it here. No.
But or bringing it here, and if the Supreme Court realizes, we know there's no room for, there's no need. Also, about to go.
Yeah, they should have just called it off.
Wow.
Yes. You see, the Supreme Court is not about the decision of the provisions of the Constitution. It's not about whether it inures to your favor or not. That's not the business of the Supreme Court or the interpretation. No. If there is a problem with those provisions in the Constitution, that you say that, if they do that, then they will become majority. If they become majority, government policies will break down. That's not the business of the
Has
Supreme
what
Court.
The Supreme Court done further deepened perceptions
that they are doing the bidding of this government.
It has made that perception very, very high.
What are the implications?
Well, the implications are that when people, because that is our last anchor of hope for our democracy. That's our last anchor. I mean, if people begin to feel like we have been doing so far, that there's no trust in the Supreme Court, there's no trust in the courts, then we are left with nothing.
Wow.
And that would be too bad.
And today, no,
terrible.
Answer me, the Honorable Bebe. Today, no, what's likely to happen is even Honorable Atacha predicted it, and Wabra no predict, you know, what Speaker Koko say, mem manning enjano and my man for leading to temptation. So it felt as though say yes, she said that. It yeah. So I'm talking about the coalition cause, the judiciary and the legislative arm of government, you know,
yes.
That's a dangerous path.
That's a very dangerous path. In fact, Atache uses the word like the speaker is becoming lawlessness, and I mean that's not true. No, I mean if, for example, what's happening today, the former majority had just exercised patience and wait for Parliament to sit as at today. That means NDC is a majority and MPP is a minority. Then the speaker comes to give a ruling, you know, or announce to them that following the decision ABC, this will be the current status. Then everything goes back to how it was before. But to say that no, just because you have got for this ruling, you are not. I mean, you are assuming that immediately the Supreme Court says so, it takes effect. No. I think that is where the chaos is, and it's very unfortunate.
And what am I found them? What's happening? Your market and ra. It will peace FM. When you say, send omo mamu sa kwenya no, and mamu ben nante omani so, and just a momo ya majority. Omo na majority.
He's too emotional for the position I'm holding.
Yeah.
He's too emotional. I mean, you need somebody with a cool head.
Yeah.
As a majority leader, former majority leader of government business, and your responsibility is obey the money restraint in the house.
That's right.
But he's the first person to aggravate any conflict at our house. That is not how James Abos used to run the house.
Wow.
So Niakosi tells you the leadership of Afenyo Mankins as the majority leader. Look, you were talking about perception. It is no more perception. The Supreme Court is now answering the political questions. They have descended into the political arena. They are into politics. Look, at the end, and the budget on my way than to protect the family values.
Yeah.
Say Ghana phobi aye aboa ma parliament apase mra. Say ye be boy ye ho ban ene ye dache ye ma ho ban. Say na ye be ya e ma ne ma ware me ma ware a e creep into the country.
Enyi
hini. Even before ye de let Ebeko ye be push we akono. Somebody have gone to Supreme Court. Say my and transmitted to the president. Supreme Court has intentionally refused to sit on it for 6 months. It's not important. It's not urgent. But you see, the Supreme Court is there as the last bastion of democracy. Send ebe ya, enyoma ebe ha o man obesi ano. Enunti, the Supreme Court wa there eye urgenta enke eye anti-LGBT bill na. Omunti mimma declaration MIN transmitted to the president. But you see, they are not interested. They are interested in the political questions. For me, I'm not surprised. The very day Supreme Court catch it and say birth certificate is not a form of identification of as a Ghanaian, and not the killing me interest and my faith in the Supreme Court.
And in the current Supreme Court.
Now I granted an interview when Parliament Speaker Emma ruling. I granted an interview and I make a declaration on one of the radio stations. Say with this ruling, the unanimous FC cannot even save MPP.
Wow!
But I was wrong. I was shocked and I was scandalized. Who say the Supreme Court have given this ruling.
Okay, sir, because you are not expecting.
I was not expecting because the thing is black and white. This particular provision is black and white, unless, of course, me English and Mission West Secondary School in the University of Cape Coast is deceiving me. Look, Minia, the thing is here, it's black and white. ABR, there's a clause, there's an English that I still don't understand because. Article 97G, you know, is so clear. Say it doesn't even if they put somebody in the primary school who understand English comprehension to interpret this, he will give the same interpretation. Article 97 1G or say a member of parliament shall vacate his seat in parliament. G, if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election. It's not for the next election.
At the time of his election.
At the time of his election to parliament.
Party
no. So free and also to join another party, or that's the B, seeks to remain in parliament as an independent member. Minia. At the time I hear to Abama no, or say obi betuma free parliament. Emra ye to Abama no party na ye to Abama wo. Ufri sa party num. Eko party fufurum. And say ufri party num e declare won say o ko content kura. Notice for poll na chere say ni pai e bi ko content kura ba kon so join MPP. Do you need Supreme Court
join okay, ba kon so free
NDC eko independent. Do you need Supreme Court to give you interpretation of this? And this is what the speaker, and this has been lifted verbatim into order 18 of your standing orders. And the speaker no did not just do interpretation of the constitution. He just picked order 18 and ordinary ruling.
Wow.
And do you need the Supreme Court to give you interpretation on this? On what basis the Supreme Court? And until I say my faith in this 5-member panel, it was Supreme Court no. My faith in the Supreme Court have been denigrated completely.
Wow.
Because now I'm going to say this 5-member panel one will see this and throw it away, not even get involved.
But is there a provision in Rashabegefu, Majuma Yomo, who bet me after Chief Justice and say, Niawaye as a boom when him tia, it won't be in one.
Of course. If you, and it's not just in the standing orders, it's in the Constitution. The Constitution states say, Ubu Parliament and Imtia, we can bring you to. There are 2 institutions who can cite people for contempt. One, the court. The second one, Parliament.
Wow.
And you make sure say Parliament and your student and a Supreme Court headmaster. We are all headmasters. Say principals we are all principals.
Wow.
And to send your ultimate for ever Parliament for contempt no. Sa na ese betimi atwe omo aba Parliament for contempt of Parliament because speaker's ruling. So defy speaker's ruling we can also cite you for contempt of Parliament.
Wow.
And the game has just begun. Yeah, as members of Parliament on the majority side here. Until the speaker make a declaration different from the anno make here no, we insist say a majority.
Okay, Krata be free, Mrachobe Abasisi, and you're about to screen is going to be but near Eken was say for immediate release, treat with disdain attempts to smear attempts to smear the Speaker of Parliament. Now the Eken was said the attention of Parliament has been drawn to a video circulating on social media insinuating that the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Baben, has been invited to a meeting with the President to negotiate a settlement in respect of the pronouncement by Right Honourable Speaker on Thursday, 17th October 2024, in response to a call by the minority leader to declare the seats of 4 members of Parliament vacant. Or say Parliament states without any equivocation that there is no iota of truth in the insinuation in the circulated video. The video in question was taken on the 4th of July 2024 when the Right Honourable Speaker led a delegation to present the Maiden Democracy Cup to the President. The attempt to wrongly label the video and twist facts to impugn the integrity of the Right Honourable Speaker and Parliament is not only disingenuous but unfortunate. And I also can say the general public is hereby advised to ignore the attempt to hoodwink them into believing what has never transpired and treat the narrative with the contempt it deserves. The way you know, free say Obia koye video ebra speaker call president wa na omudi speaker's cap no enkomo no ebra call presidency na omudi sa enkomo no na video no eba abonte no obi afa sa video no e na odan na di say speaker call president wa wo mu one speaker edi ano wo kwan a obetimi aye ne no ma wa bra yewura ene dey mo speaker say sa asem no ye montugo sa video no ye mon bongalat simple and data bersama no
yeah if it, I mean what honorable read
yes.
I want to go back to that.
Yes.
See, it said I mean that's I think Article 97 one. A member of parliament shall vacate.
Yes.
The underlining difference shall vacate his seat.
And okay,
it doesn't say that a member of parliament may or a member of parliament will be made.
Yeah.
You understand?
Shall vacate.
A member of that you yourself as a member of parliament.
Where you
should go. So it doesn't even, to me, it doesn't even need the ruling of the Speaker of Parliament.
Wow.
No, that's why they didn't come.
Once it happens, you're gone.
That is that a member of parliament shall vacate. So even if you enter parliament, you are a trespasser. You understand? You are acting illegally.
But what about those who say, if that happens, then what happens to representation? I mean, the representation of the people of his constituents.
Yeah, you decided to deny them that representation, and once you have denied them, Parliament will see to recognize you. Your representative voted for you to go and represent them. Whilst in that process, you decided to jump camp. You have denied them. So you got to get out. And here it's not asking whether somebody should come and move you out. It says the thing didn't say that Parliament shall remove because you have done ABC. A member of Parliament
shall vacate.
That you for doing ABCD, any of these.
Just vacate.
Get
out.
So it doesn't require the Speaker of Parliament or any High Court to rule on that.
Wow.
Once you have done that, right from that moment, you cease to be a member of Parliament.
Okay.
At the time that you acted that way.
Okay, let's do some quick analysis on a year confusion. Number one, honorable Anodompre, Frau Frey, Nechita for say, Omumra mo office dada no mubejina. Number two, what MPP platforms are what Yakio say announcement 22nd October 2024 agenda street campaign venue in front of Parliament House time now dress code party colors note come with your own campaign tools. I said to say for campaign tools. No, so they've done an announcement on their various platforms, MPP platforms okay. that they are going to do street campaign. And the street campaign that they are doing, they are going to do it in Parliament, where Parliament used to convene and sit. That's where they are going to do it. And the tools they are supposed to come with, come with your campaign tools. What is that?
I don't understand. Maintain your moye na se.
I didn't see that was a basa.
We see your moye na election no more lose na. They have lost the election. So they want to find any conceivable means possible to destroy this country. You see, they want to set this country into flames. That's all that they are doing. Because say Marshall release your man and opay. Directives are Marshall and man, you know. Actually, say even in the public gallery today, they will not allow the public to be in the gallery.
That's right.
If you want to come to the precinct of Parliament, their procedures are also follow.
Yeah.
Nobody just wake up, no, we will Parliament. He said we will Parliament. No. Yeah. You should have notified Parliament.
But does that affect baby a number of first?
Baby, you cause a Parliament. You see,
yes, and a baby a number of canine. You not don't bring off for you.
You see, when Parliament, baby, was is under construction. The four courts of Parliament, hono, under state protocol. But if you want to enter the property of state protocol, our Parliament inside of her, because we have security there, Parliament security there, we are supposed to check you. Parliament is supposed to check you. So I'm expecting the security our Parliament to control this, to make sure say we see.
That's right.
Otherwise,
but I see.
Otherwise, say a puny pabe go hosa. other people will also be 20 people go home.
And I make us say,
and there will be chaos. Wow. And there will be chaos. Look, now me person me comment about letter now can me who letter me who video no.
Yeah.
I treated it with the contempt that deserve because me say Speaker Parliament, speaker of Bagman, onye TUC. Onye TUC na kufu ado akofre na kojina ba bi say.
Okay,
I'm oh, say TUC na yeah, president no mo kasa ya omujaye. Enye TUC. But Bagman will never be like that. Bagman believes in principle. So if that principle is violated, he will insist on his right. And to me, initially, me treated with the contempt that he deserved. That is the modus operandi of President Akufo-Addo.
Why not say a normal way in it? It's a normal way.
Now, who say MPP at the whole team, our presidency, to give disinformation and misinformation. They create a lot, attribute to President Mama, attribute to NDC leadership. Now, fake. That is one of the things. One of the fake news they are known for fake news because there is no better news that they can churn out. And the fake news now be no. The public affairs director of Parliamentary, they say strictly no, or my be deny.
Yeah.
Because me I initially to tell you say correct. There's no way President Akufo-Addo knowing who Bagman is will insist. He will not even try.
Okay. Your colleagues and 70 or more kind, but Mr. Amamo, what's your reaction? Anamo, what's your reaction to a normal play out? For instance, supporters are here from say Omumrambe Parliament. Do you see a breakdown in protocol? Do you see a situation somebody is not yielding to the direction? A speaker ama say was a security in our echo.
Yeah, I think
is that what is happening?
I think at the weekend, I think there was a kind of a security release.
Yes.
Yeah, directing what should be done.
That's right.
And if it's unfortunate that the ruling government, MPP, is prepared to send their supporters to go and start doing the campaign or
street campaign
around Parliament House, I mean that is ridiculous. I mean I think it's most unfortunate. Like Honorable said, we're trying to turn this country into something else because you think that they believe that they know all the signs are there that they will believe in.
Should NDC retaliate? Would you advise?
No, no. I mean, NDC is above this. We are seriously above this. I mean, let's remember. Let's go back to Parliament House. You see, when Haruna and others announced this, on the day when they resumed Parliament, they didn't just go to occupy the seat because they have heard or they know that this. They waited for the process to take place. You understand? Yes. It was only after Speaker Bagman ruled before, even though the events had happened and they all knew about it. Okay, so they didn't say that. Okay, party members, let's start demonstrating. Come to Parliament House. We are going to be the majority. Let's start. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They have not called on our members to come and start demonstrating. And I mean, it's just a replica of Occupy
Flagstaff House.
Flagstaff House. I mean, it's the same sort of thing they've been doing. So even though they were at that time demonstrating Occupy Flagstaff House, present day, when people want to even demonstrate to the same Flagstaff House, there's total chaos.
But what would you call that kind of assembly? Is it an unlawful one?
I will. Well, under our democracy, people have the right to. I mean, to demonstrate. You know, the only thing is that you should demonstrate, and where you demonstrate should be approved. The question is, they are doing this. Are they saying that this has been approved by the police? When did they notify the police that they're going to do this? And did the police tell the public that this is what is going to happen on this day and at this? If all these are put aside, then the police should not in any way disturb anybody. If tomorrow another group, NDC or whatever group, comes out and say, oh, we are coming to demonstrate in front of Flagstaff House, they say, no, this is not permissible. No. So this precedent has been set, and it's a very bad example.
And it looks like we are setting different precedents.
Yeah. It's too unfortunate. It's too unfortunate.
But my bound champion, me ain't one kasa wunyanom. Ebia ye ne omo kasa enche bia e wo mra chebe gafi wa bra no mo so che o madwen wo enkomo ya ye bia ho ye di omo.
Oh, where the very legal legitimate Sir, last Tuesday, Yabaha, Mr. Speaker, are ruling on the matter. And as far as we are concerned, Parliament, as far as proceedings of the House are concerned, Nipa Bakupe no authority to make pronouncement on the floor of this House. Ebe binding. And in the Speaker, Omanpenyin President Nana Akufo-Addo, one need to me ha. The Chief Justice, one need to me ha. So nobody can come and give any ruling here. Now, except Mr. Speaker. And as far as we are concerned, Mr. Speaker, I'm a ruling last Tuesday, sir. 4 seats have been declared vacant. They are declared vacant. And so because of the vacancy, NDC now, there were 136 members. MPP won 135. So NDC are done the majority. Because after that one, now I adjourned to Tuesday. Then first day after the ruling. You continue, baby, I designated as majority. Said you pentakwa. You better baby a fata. Baby, I'm running say yentna. Yatna ho. We are only waiting for the speaker. Mr. Speaker, Abba, and the proceedings of the House goes on, and there are further directives from Mr. Speaker who comply. Nipa Bakupe no be directives on the floor of this House. It is only Mr. Speaker. Obia ma directives ha yejuma. Because me say Speaker because on no the same rule say. Ya na majority. So how would the same person because of Supreme Court and to me seek directives as to how you should run the House? Obia need to me by the Constitution of the Republic. Nobody has authority to direct the Speaker how he should run here. Speaker Betuma Kokancha Nana Akufo-Addo, you minister way, you way. Or Betuma direct to how to run the executive. Speaker Betuma Court, Naka say Chief Justice. Judge, would you put case my judge way? You judge way. The Speaker can go and direct the Chief Justice. Equally, the Chief Justice can come and direct the Speaker about proceedings in the House. One need to me. That is what the Constitution says. And so, sir, this is you do directives only from the Speaker. And so, as far as we are concerned, we are complying with the law. Speaker Babeka has something else. Then we'll see where we take it from.
And your face say you to one side. And your face. But the point is that Omra now change the way to proceed. So if he say Obebu Supreme Court as so NMTR, that is his discretion, okay? But I don't think say Speaker of Parliament want to do that. He only Emrano, Omu Emrano NMTR. And this is for the person now. We are here to build Ghana. We are here say this house should be a house of decency. What I say, we are called honorable members. It's not for anything for us to be called honorable members. So I say it may behave as such. Now Speaker of Parliament. They now Speaker of Parliament. I say I no declare seat no vacant no. Yes side Obi Queen. Yes, Obi Bowa. Yantiasie. You who said the remedy no to go to court. Court akasa. Or some do so I respected the court no. I can no munya say and Supreme Court I say Supreme Court a command there you there. Na court here also now akasa. Yema emra any nim na magana entum.
And from Tuesday when the matter erupted on the floor, exactly a week today. The long and short is that Parliament will do what he has to do today. The court order, sadly, is not directed at any entity of Parliament. And Parliament is rendered functional by some public officers, including the Speaker, the Clerk to Parliament, the Marshal, and of course the leadership. The nebulous nature of the stay granted by the Supreme Court is such that I don't know who is to stay what. And so
members of Parliament Libya yani omo kasa nje bia ne yani omo kasa no omo na wate omo nka so far. Honorable majority member of Parliament for the good people of time. Maminti obio.
Yeah, me that's me. The same speaker now and omo be rating say we declare 4 seat vacant no. Speaker na they declare MPP so majority caucus. 137 equals to 137. And this vote 137. And MPP now we are 137.
Yes.
Say a pay. But Emra Yura, First Deputy Speaker, or TSA, or an Angus only MPP Bay business. No. Speaker declare MPP caucus no, as the majority caucus. That time they were happy. Mama said, "Meanwhile, Kingsley Nyako, yeah. Ojina Hoeka say, NDC, yeah, lawless now.
Now we are honorable members of
Parliament. And honorable member of Parliament, Speaker, man, directives. Speaker ruling, no. When we say Speaker, number 10, so I'm a different ruling now. And I'm person much and say Parliament should be run from the Supreme Court. Yeah, challenging, no. Supreme Court cannot rule, even if Supreme Court gives a ruling now. It must take effect with a pronouncement from the Speaker. So until the Speaker never keep pronouncement, contrary to the annual kind, we are the majority. Yeah, quite majority. No flowery word, no amount of coercion. Say, oh, you're honorable member. Enti jane mumrano so no. Emrana nkasa eti hono. Ubisa question be. Say, right to representation.
That's right.
Constitution ankasa created a condition where some people will not be represented. When you go and elect a leader and an MPR in the midstream, social contractor owning a sign obe break here, that person cannot represent you.
True.
Into Constitution ankasa and Article 97 are creating conditions where some people will not be represented. Into any perpetuity. So Constitution say everybody must be represented at every time. Otherwise, when somebody commits a crime as a member of Parliament, that person cannot continue. ABC in Kranza South. Kranza North.
Yeah, Kranza North.
Emra Yura, I'm wanting. Yeah, China Bruce say he was into drugs.
Yeah.
It's the people who voted for him. But at that point in time, they lost their representation.
That's right.
And your Supreme Court, you are getting question free. At Samreno, now say no for any representation. And ABC now, no, you are same free in 2020. The same as same. Where the first deputy, second deputy speaker. No, we hear representation. And the Constitution and Qatar created, and until I will say 6 months before election, say BBC no be losing a member of Parliament through any of Articles 1 to 97, 1 to GR. That constituency will not be replaced with a member of Parliament.
Okay.
And it is never wholly true.
Me say who free I will call Parliament here.
Very much.
Who could I dream ben na dey ko.
I dream make and say Speaker really now no ya what say NDC a majority. In our house, majority side etna on the right of the speaker. And to me koi me kwa kwatena on the majority side. Se me kwa na majority side akonwa na ye ma. Kwa ya me fa so metana si bia no. Metna me pa akonwa e majority side ho atana so.
No be kwa be.
Kwa ya ube dia ube TV no so. Ube hu se meti majority side.
Mr. Adamo, luminary and I say the evergreen, ever youthful Chachuchi Kata Esquire lawyer. What on social media say the state of our justice system is even worse than the state of our economy.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's
would you agree with him?
I fully agree with him. I fully agree with
him.
Yes, I fully agree with him. That the state of our justice is very bad, is very, it's totally unacceptable. I mean, Ghana, we've gone very far. Over the years, we've got very good, a lawyer, very good judges.
Okay, this is a breaking story.
Okay.
The embassy is here and they say MPP, members of Parliament, must stage walk out. Oma peer free, Mrasobe Fia Sabreya, Yakase, also Munya, and Tenase, and Mabi Bianco, so more call, Oma Chia Faso, and Pia Quality, Yagotier, a minority leader, it is here.
And gave a clear indication that the matter will be pursued further at the Supreme Court. So on Friday, another process was filed by me, and the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, determined the matter and ruled, among others, that one, Speaker's interpretation of the law was wrongful, and that the Supreme Court was staying his decision pending the final determination of the case. In other words, his earlier decision to the effect that those 4 MPs, that is MP for Fomina, MP for Aguna West, MP for Suhum, and Amenfi Central, had vacated their seats, was
nullified. In essence, we are law abiding. We have heard that our colleagues say they disagree with the Supreme Court. They've been using unprintable words on the Supreme Court. On Sunday, the minority leader, my respected colleague Dr. Forson, led the minority caucus in a press conference whereupon they told Ghanaians that today they will come and occupy our seats by their own proclamation. MPP, our tradition is a law-abiding tradition. Our forebears always use the courts to correct the wrong. Since 1992, our leaders have always used civil advocacy and the courts to ensure that we get the peace that we have today. On top of my head, I can recall the era where we used thumbprint ID cards and we used opaque ballot boxes. All these are things of the past today because of MPP. Today we have a very transparent electoral system because of the advocacy of our forebears. It's our turn in leadership. The country is hereby informed that we will not give that lawless platform that NDC is seeking. We will not give them that platform. We will not give them that theater they so aggressively seek. They disrupt democracy and to destroy our nation. We know there are innocent people out there, innocent Ghanaians going about their business, innocent Ghanaians in the academia, innocent Ghanaians who are struggling to get 3 square meals on the table for their families. We care about them. We understand that there is politics, but we must do it in a civil manner. We believe that the appropriate thing is to quietly yield to them and wait upon Mr. Speaker. After all, the ruling was directed at Parliament and the Speaker, not an individual MP. Yesterday, the bailiff of the Supreme Court served Parliament of Ghana through the legal directorate. The director of the legal department received the ruling of the court. So, in other words, Mr. Speaker is on constructive notice, or maybe I should say actual notice of the ruling of the court. We have to leave it there and respect Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker has been part of our democracy since 1992. He's a senior lawyer. He's practiced in our court. And I believe that even if Mr. Speaker disagrees with the Supreme Court, he knows what to do. Suffice to state, at the risk of being repetitive, that we were not disrespectful of the chair. When the Speaker made his pronouncement and the majority caucus disagreed with Mr. Speaker, we didn't cause commotion here. We left quietly and told Mr. Speaker that the right place to express those grievances will be at the court. So we expect our brothers and our sisters on the NDC minority side to do the needful. But all would be for Mr. Speaker to make a final determination. The nation is looking up to Mr. Speaker. All his years in politics, this is a crucial moment for him to add weight to what we have done to preserve the peace. MPP is for peace. Yes. MPP is for peace. Yes. MPP is for peace of Ghana. Yes. We will not allow anybody to disturb the peace of the country. It is a notorious fact that we remain the majority caucus of this parliament. You, the media, must add your voice to the advocacy to compel our colleagues to respect the fidelity of the law. I have heard a respected colleague on their side, Honorable Dr. Ayini, calling on Mr. Speaker to respect the Supreme Court decision. If that is true, then that's a noble call from him. Dr. Ayini is somebody I respect because of his respect for the law. I believe that moderates on the side of NDC will prevail on the hawks in their party to call them to order. So I would want to thank you for being with us. We are leaving this chamber peacefully into our offices. I wait Mr. Speaker's arrival, and if he calls leadership and we do pre-sitting discussions, we will take it up from there. But for now, that lawless theater will not share with them, because Ghana, our country Ghana, is bigger than any one individual. So we would want to, at this point, sing our party's anthem to let you know who we are.
Ebusia I DwaboAse Power 97.9 and a TV XYZ. Apa nyo marking person dying and say MPP a party a omo ya asumdwe party nya no kre, because na no pe one a day etita for kogu mrase bedwafie MPP for ya mama bedwafo ni ho komo kra sana me de be dia betu dwabo abra ye bepon honorable de work afa ho
me nua me da se wo hwe afenyo marking in the press conference here for me there are some 3 takeaways. The first one is say no ojina ho no say hawks in NDC party. The majority leader no a minority leader afenyo marking so on the hawk in the MPP party, the biggest hawk in the MPP party, because onyo obi o kanipa bom. 2, ono ankasa admit say Ghana for entimi nya 3 square meals a day.
Come the
ono ankasa admit say come the Ghana for. A hungry man is an angry man.
That's right.
A come na MPP shisheye ama ade Ghana for ye kan almost say no kore no. Ene waje tum say e come the Ghana for. Ne to so biom. If you have nothing to hide, why are you running? He na mudwane akọ.
Also on pese obebu ama mo drama no.
Drama de hen. Omo akofa ni pafrin sa wo ma begu. Se si a omo platform so omo de agu so say obi a MPP ni bia nsha atale no omra Parliament House.
Omo street campaign.
Ede na ye drama, ede na ye speaker Bagben a really nano ya wada say nipa 9 every parliament. So until speaker betina wa kan biom no NDC na majority enti ye ba he ne ye nkotena enti ye ne ye lawful enti ye ne we will continue to sit on the right side of the speaker enti ye twen speaker Bagben so obeba chamber na fe business ayo ho no ya to aso so speaker ba na omo so omo ma thankfully ye for me quorum as we speak now you need like 91 to sit 15% to start business. You need half of members of parliament to take a decision. Half on also ye wo.
But it looks like Abanyo marking a Phyllis Senka speaker and free leadership. No new munim komo bi na mu go benkro bi mu.
There's always a pre-sitting meeting. There's always a pre-sitting meeting before every sitting in parliament.
Right.
Enti enya ade a eya de foforo. Enti yes ne public affairs directorate abe clear say speaker any president in koye meeting bia. There's always a pre-sitting meeting and speaker no ba or from into conclave. Business ebe bia is determined the answer the business number chamber. And every business that thing have been always been done. But enyoma no omo ye no. Almost omo ye mema. Until they will go and sit at the majority side. I wish they are men. No omo kwata na majority side ho. Until what they are doing is to chicken out.
Omo so omo pass some.
Enya asumdwe
omo po mine.
Can you imagine say if MPP could have their way, will they talk about peace? They will never talk about peace. But they can't have their way. And if they like, they should bring it on at the chamber.
Okay.
And the chamber at the right side, we will sit there. Say speaker ba, not speaker more directive, sir. We respect the directive of the speaker and the rulings of the speaker.
Okay. My reporter war parliament or therefore kwesi beche or man so then I'll come back to you. Then we can wrap up. What a try make a crap, Mr. Mano. Na yanya jua we magana ni we are singing now. Or therefore, sa panyaka say we eti ne kra ne saying.
Ne kra ne say Sam radio aye NPP MPs as they say nano ya wada minority in parliament no ora doda omano ora afenyo makin futu mrasebe jani chimu say asemo a ebeto hormo nano no onum say speaker obi a oyinim difo eba mra ene ba emra hihye mu nsem parliament dimadi mu so a wabre mu fa bi say omo di kan ba 1992 after say nya constitution nya fourth republic parliament we betan so no speaker about in nipa or can who be able to me and to the speaker betrasia and someone now Supreme Court a kayanum or the bay juma pepe and to musami no idea on betrachim by no bibia I can be an aso my bibia and to move office that would work out transit na answer na previous parliament betras and speak about ushia leaders afternoon me nyina no my enhyiamudi ansa na omama baba betena to madwendwen ho ene dwumadi no mbedi na ka won chi say dwumadi ni kan and the speaker about betrasia ba o mi obeka ho asem na owura afenyo makin a oye dom kuma no ba no dani tinti no kata o ka say enra onim say akrate for more course no edin krata speak a lawyer for say gina yese na Supreme Court asi or say parliament entry dwumadi na all the instant of say ombenya chemu afie you know omu aba be serve a lawyer say ba o mi speaker ba obey or we see the way the speaker will be the needful because we are experienced lawyer and we experienced legislator. So.
Okay, other for FNC and kind of a now you are to us. Just your understanding of up and your markings, you know, very strict, undefined. I mean, he's not bending. He remains where he has always remained, which is obey what the court has said and nothing else. He will not accept any other thing apart from what the court has said. That is what he's expecting of the speaker. What do you make of his suggestions?
Yeah, the first thing is that the current minority leader, I mean, he's deceiving the public.
Is he?
Yeah, of course. He should, I mean, as a lawyer, I mean, he should learn to speak what is true. The Supreme Court on Friday, or this Saturday or something, never stated in their ruling.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday, that the ruling of the Speaker of Parliament, Babin, was in error. No, they never said that. They only stated, based on his petition or application that it raised constitutional issues which required their interpretation.
Hence,
for that matter, they should stay proceedings.
Okay.
They never said that that ruling was wrong, no, or irregular or unconstitutional, no. So for him to come on television before the media and Ghanaians and tell Ghanaians that the Supreme Court had ruled that the decision by the Speaker of Parliament on Friday or the ruling was in error is palpably false.
Wow.
And that is too bad.
And what about the notion that they are trying to push into the minds of Ghanaians that the MPP side of Parliament remains a peaceful one and the NDC are rather being destructive?
The history of NPP, if you go back to time from Kwame Minkah to date, there's no event that has always been peaceful. No. From Kwame Minkah, from the days of throwing bombs and all of that, right up to present day, it's always been violent, dangerously violent. Now, when it comes to power, they will do anything and everything not to get power, and that's been in their tradition. What happened to even within their own selves? What happened to the acid pouring on the Mahama or something?
Yes.
All of those, was that peaceful? I mean, what happened to the Techima and all those things?
And even events of today.
Today, was that peaceful? No. So you can pretend to say that you are peaceful, but you're not peaceful. In any case, I mean, he's talking about when Speaker calls, you should be seated before the Speaker comes.
Yeah.
You know.
Should be seated before the Speaker comes.
What do you think they are trying to achieve with what they've just done, which is moving out of the chamber?
No, what they're trying to do is tactical. You move out, then the NDC members who are currently seated on the right-hand side of the Speaker gets frustrated or get tired and move out. Then all of a sudden
they'll come
in.
So what would be advised to honorable and his people? What do you think they should be doing today? Honorable should be leaving by now.
Yeah, they have more.
What's your advice to him?
They have more experience and they know all the ground rules.
No, but what you just said.
I believe that's what they're going to do. So what I expect the NDC members to do is to make sure they stay on guard. Yes, right at the entrance there. They stay on guard to make sure. I mean, in any case, if you were fully seated, you would have been sitting in Parliament till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And then you sit there for the whole day.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So they should stay there
and
get served.
Very well.
Yes.
Honorable, the other way chat for.
The immediate chat to
a footwood also means so bad.
Footwood, yeah, father that. We say what they are trying to do is to portray say they are peaceful. But look, Obi Ohe TV BR. I say NDC members are our Parliament. No be no our kontokwa. What we are doing is any speaker kano. Any other year Juma. We continue to abide by the speaker's directives. Now no Friday na speaker ruling, you know. It means that the majority. That's why we are the majority side. And unti say MPP for no who say omo minority no mbekwa akwatana they should go and sit down. They should go and sit at the minority side. Na enya me nwanwa party a oyede omo budget kuraba parliament a omo soldier parliament omo soldier budget no ho. This is not the first time they are walking out in the 8th parliament though. This is like the 5th time I've seen them walk out in the 8th parliament. Because omo hwe na enkoye mo a no mo pie omo hwe na enkoye mo a no mo pie. But this is a lesson to omo flag bearer. Dr. Baumia. Someone said now no tweet say this is the shortest 24-hour majority caucus ever in the history of the country. Omra parliament mehwe.
Wow.
Say no ni so-called majority no who are actually in minority no they have run away and left their own business.
It was not make Ghanaian no.
I'm promising you today that this PMPA they won't come back.
Well,
they will not come back because the omu party free speaker hono omunyantie
Mate
because Supreme Court and run the parliament in my
Mate the Okano. Honorable Honorable Adama Sulemana, member of parliament Madisha Tyne Empesos majority member of parliament and Madisha Tyne Empesos.
I'm a majority member on the communications and budget committee.
It will be chairman Anna.
Oh there be
to say there's other subject
I'm vice chairman of my communications committee.
Interesting. And I feel so Mr. Richard and I'm a spokesperson infrastructure NDC. I'm a very for me the and it was my baby one common. It was your coverage in the Yancy, but was so what TV so radio so na face so I bear for 10 video so. Kaisa election powerhouse you be